G'day guys and welcome! My name is Michael, I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer, and welcome to Sirens and Silver, episode 12, the grand finale. That's right, the winds of change have travelled us all across the realms of Orlestria, or really just in the one area, just a small little tiny section. But still, we travelled from the far northern coasts all the way down to the frigid, icy south, and now we are here at the final episode. Joining me today are, of course, my wonderful cast of incredible performers who make up the crew for this adventure. Hello, everyone! It is amazing to see you all.
Yar!
Hello.
Yar, yar. And can I say, I wanted to say that I'm going to give a very, very special hero point to Alistane for coming in costume. Like, to me, that's just, it's that level of just extra commitment.
It's a hell of a cosplay.
It is.
I've been working on it for the entirety of the 12-episode season.
So exact.
I know, right?
The
Like,
amount of Warbler in this costume is frankly absurd and enough to fill 3 fills.
yeah. I mean, it's exactly how I pictured him, you know? Like, yeah, straight up. So
Can't
to
even
tell
see
you,
his mouth move when he talks either.
well, you can kind of expect that. I mean, if it's a single piece, you know, maybe it's just moving like ever so slightly. And before we get too into it, I'm not doing that on Hero Forge. Just no. I could. I just want you to know that I'm not.
Just cut the bottom off and make it move.
I feel like in South Park style, the top of the head should go upwards instead.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Raise that.
Hey, buddy! I got your guy, pal.
I'm not your pal, buddy.
All right. Now, to kick us off, let's, of course, start by doing a round and saying hello to each of our cast members and, of course, the great and amazing characters they're playing. Starting with none other than Robert Hartley, GM, over here. There he is.
This guy, standing with him. Hello. I'm Robert Hartley, GM. I am a full-time TTRPG player and nerd. I do Dungeons and Dragons for a living. I am the DM for a comedy group called Viva la Dirt League, as well as a DM in my own right over at Twitch and YouTube, Robert Hartley GM. And I'm one of the I'm one of the creators and writers of D&D Logic, a comedy skit series about D&D on the YouTubes. But today I am playing Captain Razorbeak Fork, possibly for the last time. Who knows? It has been a wonderful character to play. He is a pirate captain, and he is a raven folk, and he has made a deal with a very nefarious creature that, until last episode, or technically the episode before, was driving him downwards into a cycle of self-destruction, and then he managed to find redemption, and he's on his way back up on the other side of the redemption arc, I think. So, very fun character to play.
Thank you. And next up on our list is none other than the bosun of the great ship, Alistane Porter, played by the incredible Patrick, who is joining us now. Where are you, Pat?
Hi, everybody. I am currently in a hotel meeting room in Maryland. Spiritually, I am there with all of you. Hi, I am Patrick Keefe, otherwise known as That Great Gentleman, everywhere on the internet. You can find me primarily on TikTok and on Instagram. I also do D&D for a living somehow. I am an actor and voice actor in addition to that. And yes, I will be playing Alistane Porter, a much bereaved and tortured soul, as time has gone on, is a jade dragonborn, and has yet remained pure of heart for the entirety of this journey with the help of his friends and fellow crewmates, and is now putting that purity to the test.
Splendid. Next up on our list, we all know her, we all love her. This is Janet from World Anvil, playing the role of the ever-lovable Swift. Hello!
Hi! It's so nice to be here. I'm currently sitting in a caravan on a bed, so if I'm a bit fidgety today, I apologize. I don't have my comfy chair. My name is Janet. I am a streamer, D&D player, writer of RPGs and novels, and then I have a day job, which is World Anvil. I'm the CEO of World Anvil, co-founder. I made it, and yeah, that's what I do. I make games, I play games, and I help other people make and play games. Yeah. Today I'm playing Swift for the last time, maybe. the Harengon swashbuckler. I never make characters properly. I go, this is fun and that's fun. Let's push them together and see what happens. And that was very much the case with Swift. But she's turned out to be really fun to play. So yeah, I'll be sorry to say goodbye to this character, but what better company? I don't know. This is also something, guys.
Amazing. And of course, last but certainly not least, rounding out our team of Rab Stallions is none other than the incredible Dreaded GM playing Asalas.
Hello, hi, I'm Josh. I'm Dred from Dreaded GM. If you want to see what I do, head over to the Twitch channel where I stream Dungeons and Dragons and other tabletop role-playing content. I love tabletop role-playing games. I love people. I love community so much so that I've made it my life's work. So if you want to follow along my journey, please head over to Twitter or Twitch where you'll find me doing my thing. I'm trying to be a professional game master, and I think I'm doing pretty damn well. I'm playing Azalis. I am a pure-blood Yuan-Ti conquest paladin. I like to think that I am the first sword of the ship, but I am definitely the first mate. We've had some emotionally charged moments, and I'm very excited to see how it all unfolds at the finale, possibly a finale. I'm gonna miss my snake boy. Let's see what happens, guys. Oh boy.
All right. Well, last but not least, before we dive straight into our game, we want to take a moment to thank the sponsors of this show, which help us look amazing and stay amazing, and that is, of course, Hero Forge for the wonderful artworks you can see all throughout the stream. We've got some really special Hero Forge minis that I've been saving since episode 1 to reveal to our lovely group here today, which is going to be great. Yeah, lots of stuff. Wahaha, secret stuff. And then, of course, big shout out to Sirenscape for the wonderful sounds you will hear throughout the course of today's session, which hopefully should be working. Yay! Pew! And, of course, for Fantasy Grounds, for our VTT of choice. There we go.
I'm sorry. I didn't think anyone would notice.
It picks up on your mic really well. What can I say?
Oh yeah,
Incredible.
But of course, there is 2 more sponsors. One, we say an honorary sponsor, because we love them anyway, and we're going to sponsor them and shout them out every chance we get. And that is, of course, World Anvil itself, a incredible, wonderful, and amazing storytelling platform tool for any prospective writer, whether you are creating worlds for your own RPGs, or if you're writing your own novel and just wanting to keep your all of your ideas mushed up and put in a cool, easy, and comprehensive format. Go check out World Anvil, follow the link, do the things, because it's amazing. And yeah, it's one of those things where when you, after you spend some time with it, you're like, why was I not using this like years ago? Which someone in this room may have recently started feeling.
Because it didn't exist years ago. We're just about to celebrate our 5th birthday. Did you know that?
it's so good.
Happy birthday.
It's crazy.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, when is the 5th birthday?
So we did our official launch right at the beginning of October, but we always do our birthday tied in with Halloween. So we can dress up and have fun. And so we do like a spooky for people challenge where people dress up and all that. I'll tell you later. It's all good fun.
We'll find out about it. And of course, the last big sponsor of the channel, you guys in the audience. Thank you so much, guys. Whether or not you're donating your time, donating money, or donating channel points, we appreciate having you guys here, hanging out and doing cool stuff. There are a number of ways you can influence the course of the game for today, for the last time actually. So there you go. So for $5, if you wish to, you can give someone a hero point, which you can see everyone here is locked and loaded with hero points. Or you can give me a jinx point, so I can do horrible things to people, like cancel silvery barbs. That's the thing I can do. Just give me jinx points.
You need to do that.
Every jinx point is one less silvery barb for Dred.
I just look at this point. I'm just taking it to see when you crack, and then you're like, "No, it's banned. It's banned. No more silvery barbs."
I'm not banning it. I'm just gonna up everything. That's why I don't ban things. All right, for $10, I will go through my deck of lovely and amazing plot twists and pick 3 of them. You get to choose one, and that plot twist simply occurs. For $20, you can give someone the coveted golden 20. That is either the players or the GM themselves. It's a nat 20 because 20 for 20. That's how it works. For $50, we can increase the difficulty of a challenge or provide a magic item of your choice to a player of your choice. And lastly, we have the secret menu item. Now, the secret menu item is a $100 donation, but we have started doing a thing here on the channel where we have allowed for people to pay partial to the secret menu item. So if you don't have $100 to drop straight on it and you want to donate to the secret menu item, just say that that's what you're donating for. And today, Dred, you ready for this? One of the greatest swordsmen in my setting will drop into this game.
Oh yeah!
If we get through
I'm ready. Get ready. We're gonna get that glory.
if we get the secret menu item. So
We want to encourage people to donate, Dred.
No,
Not put them off because they're like, we don't ever want to hear him do that again. So we're not going to
I'm gonna get so excited if that swordsman drops in here. Even if I do have that Zorro moment and get all cut up and die, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
And get slaughtered.
Oh yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Liska, for the $10 donation. Let us know what you'd like. A plot twist. Okay, let's do this real quick before we kick off because I feel like a plot twist is quite good. All right, Liska, let me know between Away with Words, Have a Nice Trip, or From the Shadows.
Ooh.
So those are your choices. Away with Words, Have a Nice Trip, and From the Shadows.
Can I just say, they sound like great adventures.
Yeah, these are
Like,
great
you could
ones.
write adventures to
Right?
that, and it'd be just let's go.
We should do
With word.
Have
we
a
should
nice
do a
trip.
plot twist adventure writing.
We should do that.
Oh yeah,
Let's
we
do
should
that.
totally do that. Yeah,
Do
absolutely.
that,
like that
where
a
you
lot.
draw a plot twist, and then we have like 15 minutes to come up with the basic skeleton of adventure. That'd be
Way with words from
Yeah.
the shadows.
Oh, I love that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've
we
also
all
got
do,
another
like,
deck
writing
here
sprints,
for
and then we have to
flashbacks.
explain.
That's my secret,
Yeah,
Captain.
I'm
That's how I always come up with my stories.
You just look
Prompt in 15
underneath.
minutes.
Honestly, though, Rob.
I'm just like, I got
Rob.
nothing. I'm gonna look around. I got a big. Which of my minis?
Just
can I
Kaiser
use?
Soze.
I'm
Kaiser
just
Soze
imagining
is
Rob
script together.
underneath Rob's desk is like one of those bingo wheels. And it's
Yeah.
just got,
Have a nice trip.
Yep.
And the twist
That's a bit too
is
real.
have a nice trip.
People
All
are
right.
like, I never saw that twist coming. I'm like, neither did I.
All right. I think I can do something.
I
with
know,
that.
right?
All right. So, without any more ado, our heroes started this adventure on the high seas of the Dread Sea, traveling to the temperamental taverns, fighting off with sea creatures from the farthest depths, giant whales, colossal crabs, pirates both dead and alive, dire warnings from the spirit world, and many more. These four heroes, pirates, buccaneers, have fought tooth and nail to wind up here in the realms between realms. The Dead Man's Road has finally led them, thanks to the power and magic of Captain Dren Goldfist's lantern. They now find themselves at the precipice to one of the greatest treasures known to the realms of Olestria, the fabled treasure of Captain Dren himself. After having defeated a number of Captain Dren's former crew, doused in gold, many of which thrown and cast into the dead roads themselves, our heroes managed to overcome the very difficult puzzle that was very challenging and very gripping, and took them ages to figure out because it wasn't super simple. Tear. And opened the vault doors to the treasure of Captain Dren. It is here, bathed in the glowing light, that our heroes emerge before the greatest treasure they have ever seen. Let me share that map with our lovely audience here. All right. In a literal lagoon of pure gold, water is mixed with an almost silt-like powder of gold and stretches out in front of our heroes. piles and mountains of gold rise up and create small little sandbars made of treasure, jewels, gemstones, crowns, ancient treasures, potteries, paintings, chests filled to bursting with doubloons, and more. Further ahead, within this lagoon, a ship equally laden with treasure and booty, but caught in a relentless golden flame, illuminating this lagoon as our heroes wade waist deep through the waters towards what could possibly be the end. Or maybe a beginning. For now, however, we shall see. Azalis, the spirit of glory, churns within your gut like a fire. Alistane, a heavy weight seems to be borne upon the gold that you seek. As the gold coins sink to the ground, so too does the weight of sin that every gold coin here carries. Captain Fork, traveling hard, far and wide, you've known the price of greed yourself firsthand. And this here, this dilapidated ship, you can't help but, for a moment, compare it to your own. Is this the fate that would have met me, had I not purged myself of that avarice within? And Swift, as you find yourself literally just overwhelmed by all the sparklies, you catch a glimpse of something. A seashell. A conch shell. A beautiful one. Very reminiscent of the one given to you by none other than Prince Aeonus. You recall the rock slide, the one that sent you here. If you all arrived, then what happened to the prince? You hope, deep down, the prince is all right. But for now, you have bigger things to deal with as our heroes begin the final chapter of their journey. All right.
Could you just repeat all of that again? I wasn't listening.
Can you swim?
In gold? No.
Good. All right. This is waist-high waters of sparkling gold dust. It's gold dust mixed with water. So it's not molten gold, obviously. Otherwise, you would be burning. You would be dead. But the water is very silty. You place your hands inside of it, and as you raise it out, it's almost like this thin layer of gold follows you, without hindering your weight or anything like that. But as soon as you put your hand back in it, you can kind of partially wash it off. You can see that to your right and to your left are quite literal mountains of gold. They breach the surface of the gold lagoon and are quite high, maybe 20, 30 foot high from the bottom of this small little inlet. The four of you see the burning vessel up ahead. The fire itself doesn't seem to be consuming the ship any more than it already has, but nonetheless, the fires still burn hot, and you can feel it even at this distance.
I think we should have a long rest.
Good. You lie down in the water for 8 hours. Unfortunately, only Captain Forks awakes because he's the only one who can breathe underwater.
That is not true. I still have
you have
that
a water
you do.
ring that I gave you.
Very well.
How long
curse
does
of the
the water
DM giving you a
breathing?
magic item.
Right.
You guys can
But there's
rest.
no land here at all.
There is, not that you can see. You can rest on the treasure itself if you so desire.
That sounds like a trap to me. When the GM says such reasonable things in such a reasonable voice.
I've already risked it. I hit the long rest button, sir.
All right, it's happening,
I
guys.
mean-
It's been done.
Yeah.
All right, who needs to breathe underwater just
Oh,
in
yeah,
case?
I was gonna say, are we having a long rest? This doesn't feel like it was a. I feel like we've just pressured the TM into giving us a
No,
long
no, no,
rest.
no, no. I have an idea because the water is waist height. So if you lie on the bottom, Fork, and then I lie above that, then the others
The two
can
of
use
us.
us as land
So
to rest on.
we're lying on top of one another as a
It's
as
a
a
rest.
We're a
totem pole.
Jenga tower of
We're a
time.
We're a Jenga
essentially.
tower of people.
Swift, just
just
lay
about-
on top of my head. It's fine.
I'm sure inhaling, I'm sure
And
sleeping
the
all night,
access to the
inhaling
bishop.
all of the, inhaling all of this gold dust in the water won't kill us at all. I'm sure
Fine, it's fine.
it's fine to have heavy
I was
metals in your
thinking-
system, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Alistair
absolutely.
just
possibly go
twirls his
wrong?
fingers.
All right.
Alistair
you-
just twirls his fingers and like gems come off and Swift rises into the air as they underneath.
All right.
I feel like I'm being punished, but it's so pretty.
So, as you stack on top of each other in order to nap upon the large piles of gold, probably something you've
that's
never done in your
adorable.
lives before,
Oh,
you
that's
notice
boxes.
that the gold starts to sink.
Oh no. It's
It's
going to
not-
sink down
Wow.
to exactly 4 people deep. just so that we can't. Sleep.
Not quite. You see, what happens here is the gold itself
good.
opens and plunges you into its depths as the gold itself subsumes
mimic!
subsumes
Oh,
all 4 of our characters.
Sweet.
Poor
Rock's full,
Billy.
everybody dies again.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, thanks
Twice,
for coming,
twice
everyone.
in 2 games.
Yeah.
Dags
Poor
just straight
Billy.
up killed us.
Look,
We-
Dag,
Without a saving throw.
It's the finale, Dag.
We hope you. Yeah, no, we.
my long rest.
Yeah, we hope you guys had a great time. I had a blast. Season 1, woo! No.
Woo!
All right. Sadly, this is not a mimic, but the mimic is the best picture I can show.
All right.
It is just treasure. However, as you make yourself, as you find yourself drifting and sinking down into the depths, you find yourself in what is almost like a small and secluded cavern, made entirely of gold. There are treasures all around you, but it is pitch dark, and only those with dark vision are able to gain bearings on what is around them. This room here, for the time being, seems to be safe and secure. But, and I say this with a resounding but, the mound is still moving. Alright. With that,
Think and act fast. What are we doing?
I've got no idea. I can't see anything.
Aim for the center, wherever it's being dragged into.
you aren't actually flowing into it. Just the whole mound seems to be moving.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like you're. It almost feels like you're in a submarine.
A yellow
It's like a
submarine.
little
Exactly
piece
what
of
that-
gold.
A golden submarine.
We
We all live in a golden
Yellow
submarine.
submarine.
You're in a little womb of gold.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
no.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Hate it.
We're in a golden womb.
Is it secreting anything? Like digestive juices?
Yeah, are we being digested?
That we can tell. I am happy to roll a perception check. if
I'm gonna
that's
walk over
necessary.
and just stab the wall.
What is it about my cadence today that's making you not believe me? I'm like, no, it's fine, because thankfully, despite every plan I had, you guys will have a nice trip.
Have a nice trip. Hey. Okay.
Yay.
Have a nice trip.
All right.
So we're just going on a nice trip in
Actually-
a womb of gold.
Temperature
A
controls.
sinister womb of
Feel
gold
that.
that this
Indeed.
capture does.
It makes its way through and around the dead roads for the better part of 10 hours, of which
Yeah, boy.
of which you guys have enough time for a long rest.
And then
Okay,
and then
and-
a long rest takes 8 hours, right, Dad? Right,
So you're,
Dred?
you're giving us a little preparation time there as well.
We're getting a lion.
I mean, look, it's an extra
Love it.
2 hours. You could
Okay,
do
okay,
it.
What could we
alright.
possibly do in 2 hours?
All right.
Hey, can you think of anything, Azalis?
I can think of something. I can definitely think of something. I'm gonna look around this treasure room for something special, Dad. Can you see if anything for that I can see in particular? Something special in this treasure room.
Something special in this treasure room. Very well. Thanks to the inside bonus provided by Ryger Dracora, I will allow you to roll me a D10.
D10. Let's go. All right. 8.
You find a cape. It seems to be a very regal-looking cape. It is encrusted with gems and rubies.
It's not a traditional way of doing it, but this will do, I guess.
Not exactly what I was wanting when I was asking for something special, but I mean, Captain Falk probably will accept this more than the other thing anyway.
Very well.
pick it up.
Apparently, Rigger has requested that it's not a regal cape. It is now a regal cake. It appears to be
Yes!
some form of delicious.
I approve this method.
It is a
Three-tier
delicious
cake?
patisserie. I don't know how many.
Is it
No,
like
it's
a?
croissant.
Oh,
For
let me do
for
this
the,
because you can have cakes up to.
Is it
12
like
the
a-
cakes guy.
Is it like
Is it
a
like
white
a-
cake?
But is it an actual cake or is it like a model or like a like
I'll tell you in a
cast
second.
cake?
All right,
find
it is
out.
it is a 3-tiered cake.
Three-tiered cake?
It is a real cake.
Real cake?
To describe the cake.
Real and regal.
Okay, you without tasting the cake, what you actually see, boom, is a beautiful chocolate scroll cake. And what it looks like is it's got these tiny little chocolate scrolls that create almost a crust around each of the layers. Between the two little alcoves, almost like a planter that you would have in a garden, is an assortment of wild berries, cherries, cranberries, raspberries, strawberries, all placed there, drizzled with honey. And on the very, very top layer is almost like a thin gelatin with a meringue on top, also assorted berries decorating the top of it. That is the
All right.
3-tiered regal cake that you have got. Oh, and it's also covered in like that edible gold thing that yeah.
I'm gonna gold leaf.
There it
I'm
is.
gonna pick up the cake and be like,
Okay, I thought you were a cape for a second, but I guess
Good
not.
thing you didn't wear it.
It's
going
not
to
cake.
walk over to the captain and I'm gonna say,
Captain, I
Yes, Azalis, what is
have
it?
a question for you.
Happy birthday.
It's a strange. So, no, this seems more like a. Seems almost like a traditional wedding cake. That
So it is.
I've never been lucky enough to have anyone special in my life like that. I suppose you could say I'm married to my crew. I'm married to my work.
Captain, I want to be that someone special for you before we go into what could possibly be our final encounter.
I don't know what to say. I've always been so fond of you, Azalis, and all of the members of my crew. The 4 of us have been through so much together. I would be honored if you would all wed me. Because the spell ceremony I've just looked up does not require 2 adult humanoids. It can be all of us, and we can all gain the benefits.
Oh.
It does not specify a number. It just says adult humanoids that are willing to be bonded in marriage.
Well, to all here present,
And people
you
wonder-
are
As
the
the captain of a ship, I have legal rights to
And
perform
people
a
wonder.
marriage.
And people wonder why I don't give you guys long rests.
I have legal
Like I gave you
legal
one
right
long
to
rest,
perform
and
a
now you're all
marriage.
trying to get married.
Would you all do me the honor of marrying me?
I would do. It would be my pleasure, Azalis. It would make me the happiest fork in the world.
I hold the cake in one hand and I hold
I take Azalis's hand.
yeah, and I hold the cake out to Alistair and Swift.
Alisane looks at the cake and looks at all of you. Well, much the same vein, I've always considered myself married to my work. And what is the friendships that I have cultivated with you, but the greatest work of my life?
Oh, you see Azalis for the first time tear up, and there's a single tear that drips down his scales.
It's like a venom duct from his Yuan-Ti face.
Yeah.
Swift hangs back for a second with her arms crossed and looks at each of you in turn and says, "You're all idiots, but you're my idiot."
There we are.
I love you too.
And she walks in and joins the circle.
I'm so glad to have picked you up.
Should have just made me a mimic.
If you had, I'd try and befriend it again.
Yes, we would have.
I will perform the actual ceremony, and then Dred will perform the actual ceremony.
The actual ceremony.
Okay.
Capital C.
Can
I will
make-
perform the lowercase c ceremony. Dred will perform the uppercase ceremony.
Swift would like to take a moment to make some rings out of carrots for everybody,
Yes.
so that we all have little carrot rings.
How many carrots is it?
I do love, in a sea of gold, we have decided to make the rings out of carrots.
carrot,
yeah.
What is that, if not the biggest middle finger to Dren?
Yeah, exactly right. Really shows how far we've come, how far Hawk has come against his greed.
I now pronounce
Absolutely.
us married. We don't have to kiss.
I would prefer not.
Yeah, I would
actually.
feel that
love
would be a
carrots,
little
but not like
inappropriate.
It's
in this
understandable.
situation. But I
So
feel
we
I
can
feel
totally-
Platonic marriage.
I feel bonded to you guys. I feel like something more savory though than just cake. If only we
I
had
have
like
Take a bit of the
feast.
cake, and I just
Oh,
shove it
we-
in Fork's face.
I mean, I suppose if one calls for a feast, it might be quite heroic. It's something I might be able to cook up. If,
But we only have an hour before I feel like this nice trip will end.
Don't you worry. I think
only-
we can manage.
If only we
Yeah.
had more time.
I mean, if the powers that be would allow us to perhaps partake in some savory delights.
I think I know what you're saying though, but we don't have access to a gold chalice worth a lot of money. There's no possible way that we would. Oh wait, seven of them.
Reaches into
Here's
the
seven.
pool
Here's
of
here's
gold,
one.
pulls
Here's
one
one.
out.
Do you want one with rubies, one with diamonds, one with emeralds? Would you like?
Emeralds would be preferred.
Here we go. For emeralds. There we are.
The one
An
with
emerald
the one with
chalice.
emeralds is actually an orichalcum goblet. It's made of almost like this pure black, but it's got almost like this strange green inlay, and then beset into it are these golden vines, almost like roses that blossom these emerald flowers over the circumference of the goblet.
What was that word you said? Orichalcum.
Orichalcum.
That's not in my vocabulary. Don't make up words.
Word.
What is it? What is
Really?
it?
You haven't played
What is it called?
Skyrim. Have you not
I'm
played
surprised, actually.
No, I have
Or
taken
any
it.
fantasy game ever.
What is it? I've not heard of it. What is it? Is it a type of
Skyrim? It's
metal?
a metal.
It's
Yeah,
type
Like
of
mithril
metal,
and
yeah.
adamantine
Yeah.
and all that. Okay.
Yeah. It's magic metal.
I'll add it to my vocab.
It is
Something
supposed to
about
be a metal.
Calcum.
Book of imaginary made up words.
Well, actually, I think originally it was a metal that they believed they used in Atlantis, according to ancient texts.
Yes. Yes.
Ooh.
I always assumed it was
Indeed.
associated with orcs because it looks like
Orc
it starts
and
with
calcum,
orc. Yes.
Orc calcum.
When you're dyslexic, it looks like it's associated with orcs.
An orc calcum.
Can I just say, I
It
just
is.
feel really bad for
This
Prince
is going
Aeolus
so
when he
south.
finds out that Swift's married.
Yeah, it's
He could
Yeah,
join
right.
the orgy.
Look.
It's
Yeah, he can join
fine.
in. We're calling.
by technicality, I mean, like, it says that you're no longer married if you're widowed. So if at least one
Yeah.
of us
And
perish
if any
in this
one of us
fight,
dies in this fight, you
You're fine.
can benefit from the ceremony spell again.
yeah, it's
But
fine.
also, does it say that the marriage is a closed marriage?
Nope.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
It just says a creature can benefit from this right only again only if widowed.
There you go.
That does beg the question: does revivify count
Oh,
as
yeah, so
annulling
there's-
till death do us
There's
part?
a build where people just kill and reborn the
Zealot Barbarian.
Yeah.
Barbarian.
That's
Yeah.
how you
Because
do
the
the
zealot-
boss in this world.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
you can
hit on the
revivify a
head.
zealot barbarian for free. So so you just
That's
marry a zealot and then just
Marry
keep
me for the 100th time,
So,
please.
so Alistane has a goblet.
yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and he's making us a feast out of it.
Yes.
Very well.
What does that look
I
like?
was saying yes. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think the magical energy that is always coursing through Alistane's veins pours itself into the emeralds adorning the orichalcum, and that gem ancestry that he has tied with his emerald forebears starts springing forth this coursing electricity that zaps into what is sprawled out before them, almost like a large banquet table, a large flash of light, and a beautifully cooked rosemary and chive chicken appears before them, and then zap, another plate of sautéed greens, zap. There are a large spread of rice and mashed potatoes, whatever you would prefer, and this continues on as the feast manifests. And I will cast Hero's Feast.
Azala, slow down.
I'm so attractive right now, Isabella.
When was the
I can
last
barely
time we
contain
ate?
myself.
I believe we haven't eaten.
Oh dear God, I think you're right. I didn't
Oh,
realize I was so hungry till right now.
I
In
totally
Rome.
forgot.
Azalis, make a Constitution saving throw with advantage, please.
Oh no! Not a refund and a golden submarine.
This is how I go.
It's
is
in
how
a
it
blaze of glory.
All right. Con save.
Yeah,
Um,
with advantage.
Yeah,
Also-
advantage, and also I get my +5 now. For my
Also,
aura.
what's the duration of Hero's Feast, Alistane?
Natural 20.
Oh, why is it -3?
In just a
24
moment.
It's not meant to be.
24
It is
hours.
24 hours.
24 hours.
Oh,
Very well.
it's I've accidentally hit the -5 instead of the +5, so it's actually 20, natural 20 with 7 on top, so
Fine.
27.
Thankfully, because you're a Yanti, you don't choke on the volume of food that you've shoved down your gullet. And because Alistane, you described in detail the Hero's Feast, instead of a 24-hour effect, this will actually last for 48 hours.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Nice.
yeah.
Very well. Let's see what Hero Feast gives you, and then let's see if I can apply it to you guys.
This is so very nice. We haven't had this time together for a long time.
All right.
I think the last
Good day.
time we got to really enjoy ourselves was at the tavern. The giant beer.
Dag, remind me how you do hit points on level up, because I think my maximum's changed somehow from what it should have been.
Hit points are rolled and re-roll any ones.
Roll any ones. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you can use whatever Vanishing Gun does, which is always the average.
Yeah, I just took
But
average.
you have to do that before you decide to roll.
I took average.
I'm going to roll for it. 2d10.
That was Azalis, not me.
I wake up after
roll
the-
2d10, please.
Who?
Alistane.
Yep, there's a 4. And a 5, that's 9.
All right, so everyone gets 9
Additional
temporary hit
one.
points.
9. Technically, actually,
Actually,
it's 10.
Your
10
hit point
10 real hit
maximum
points.
And also technically the creature will get it as well because the
Creature's
beast is
technically eating it.
inside its gut. So
This is
Wait,
true.
this creature with its anyone who partakes in the feast.
So are we getting an extra 9 hit points.
Extra 9 hit points. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's only for
nice.
24 hours.
Yeah, nice.
48 hours.
48 hours.
Hit points
Yeah.
increased.
And I still have temporary hit points for some reason.
No, I just added them in.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
And we also have advantage on certain checks as well.
Yeah, advantage on saving throws, immunity to poison, bunch of stuff.
All right. The journey seems to take you far and wide. As you try to find a way out, which I imagine you will at various points here and there, you can eventually find a small piece of the wall that seems to come apart. And what you see is just how vast the River of Gold happens to be. There, several large islands covered with marooned people who are trying to eat the gold that they are laden with. This is a hellscape for all those greedy souls who could never find themselves with enough wealth. As you begin to travel and make your way deeper and deeper into this ocean of gold, eventually you come to what looks to be a single lone island. An island that reaches up to a tall precipice. Which, let us share it for my players there. Boom. The pile of gold eventually comes to rest on the beach nearby, almost regurgitating you out as you fall with the tinkle of gold onto the beach here.
Mine didn't load. If you could push it again.
Mine's still trying.
Oh, it hasn't loaded because I haven't put your minis on here yet.
Right.
Ah.
That makes sense.
We don't exist there yet.
We're not there yet.
I would like to say that Swift, please.
All right.
Really?
Just a reminder, everyone has a +2 AC because we're all married. And we're in the honeymoon period.
Love that.
Yeah.
Well, ever we're within 30 feet of
30 feet of each other.
one of our
Married peeps.
husband, wife, spouses.
Aw.
I don't know if that means we all have to be within 30 feet of each other,
I think it just be 30 feet of...
or if any one of us
One,
that we have
yeah.
been married
Yeah.
to is within 30 feet of us.
All right. This small island seems to stretch upwards and reaches a kind of a tall overlook. You can't see anything above where you happen to be. Only just the sight of an endless gold ocean and the treasure that lies around you.
Well, seems that this is our fated destination.
I
Can
step
we
forward.
see-
Oh, good, sorry.
I was going to ask, the burning ship is gone, I guess.
I think we've been moving as we were resting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
have
no.
been.
Inside the
So,
wound.
so
That's the ship.
all we see now is this peninsula. What is towards the land of the peninsula? Like behind us?
Nothing. It kind of like reaches out to just a beach.
Okay. Okay, so it's just an island, basically.
Yeah, it's an island.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
I'm going to start
Where is
climbing up.
this thing brought us?
Right.
Where can I
if-
move to? I don't
you
want
can
to
move.
get
Okay,
ahead
so
of
if you
myself.
want to, you can try to climb the rocky face, or you can move around the path on the other side.
I am
think
going
maybe
to
the-
climb. Ooh, a first spat.
Look, in
Asshole.
accompanies marriage in any form. Disagreements do happen, but we continue on.
Okay.
And come to compromise.
All right.
Yes.
Are you sure about that?
You know, I think that the path would be the way of less resistance. I can get a bit, what's the word? I forget it.
Overzealous?
No, but overzealous works as well.
Overzealous.
I can
Overzealous, yes.
I can just say,
overzealous.
I can.
My little overzealous.
I just want to say that I can appreciate that you're using I words like I feel and I think that I am overzealous rather than you are and you. I think that's something that we've been working on well in our relationship.
Done
And
really well.
I think we should move on to fuck up Captain Dren.
Yes, let's do that. Should I head up the marching order?
Swift
sighs.
has one thing to
Swift has
say.
something to say.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
Swift sighs with a mutter of relationships, and takes a couple of steps forward and starts essentially scanning the path for traps. So
alright.
I'm happy to do a perception roll if that would help, but I'm looking for the trap on the bottlenecked single way up to the
You may do so.
pinnacle of this setup.
As far as traps go, it is an ideal location for one.
Yes,
And I'm glad you thought of it, because I would not have.
I didn't.
That is a 21
Woo.
trapezoid finding.
Trapezoid finding.
Trapezoids. That's what we're
Well-
calling it now. Yeah. trapezoids.
You see a couple of things, in fact. The first thing you actually see is
She holds up a furry paw to stop the people behind her.
you can see that the incline here up the ledge is covered in gold coins. This makes the entire ledge slippery and creates a very, very strong hazard. It doesn't look like they've been intentionally left there, but climbing up and a wrong precarious step taken will send you careening down a very, very nasty cliff. In addition, you can see that there are a number of strange spectral creatures that seem to float in and around the area ahead of you. They look incredibly creepy as they seem to be floating as if they were being hung by rope that isn't there.
Oh, lovely. Hanging men. Lovely. So I put my little fuzzy paw up to stop people from following me, and I turn around and I say, first of all, there are some, and I point to where there is one, terrifying hung people, I guess? Can you see them too, or have I had too much cake?
Can we
Right.
see them?
There you go.
Can we see them?
Yes.
Yeah,
You
they
guys
have
should be able to see
appeared.
them on the board.
No,
Oh,
in
yeah,
our
yeah,
characters. Can
Oh,
we
yeah,
see
yeah,
them?
yeah, you
Can-
can, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, I can see them as well. Looks like they're hanging men. They've been hanged.
Yes, I see them as well.
Secondly, Binkley,
I don't know if they're
Have I-
hung. That's a different topic of conversation. I have to get closer to see that amount of detail, but I can tell that they've been hanged.
it's hard to tell in the robes, right?
Yeah.
Secondly, do I still have Binkley with us?
Um,
Theoretically, he's been on my belt the whole time as a ladle, but this is GM's discretion, so I'm asking
You
you.
definitely got married to us as well, right? And then
I'll say
partook in the
sure.
hero's
I've got,
feast.
I've got no issue there.
Okay, Binkley, can you become a broom for me?
You watch
There's
as
some
the
yummy gold
tiny
coins in it
ladle
for you.
named Binkley suddenly begins to strain and twist, and then suddenly transform into a broom.
Good job. Who's the best mimic? You're the best.
You
mimic.
watch as
You
the
are.
broom handle
Yes, you
starts
are.
like
Wagging.
wagging.
Yes, you're the best mimic. I
I'll stay in
experimentally
stands.
try and brush off some of the gold coins from in front of us, so it's not slippery anymore.
All right.
Alistair mutters, better not let ship here, you say that.
Yes, you're just one of the best mimics. You are equal first position of the mimics.
I love all my mimic babies.
It starts wagging at you again.
Yes, yes, sweet too.
All right. You begin to scale the side of the slippery cliff, made easier now that you no longer have coins to concern yourself with, and you approach what look to be these floating spectral creatures. Upon closer inspection, it looks as though their feet have been laden with large buckets filled with molten gold burning at their ankles. You could see there's still that kind of shine on these kind of spectral like weights that are hanging off them. And as you get near, let's say roughly 30 foot away, which you guys will be about here for that, unless there was someone who didn't wish to follow.
No.
Yep.
I'm following.
I'm fine. Yep.
Okay. The creature begins to speak in an apparition. What's the word? What would you say? Like an ethereal voice. That's the one.
I reckon ethereal.
Yeah.
Ethereal works.
There is a good word for that.
Okay.
Like that.
Come no further, wayward travelers of the souls. This place is not your designated realm.
What do you mean designated? What do you mean by designated?
Is there paperwork involved in this? I'm not good at that. I'm terrible. Swift does all my paperwork.
You do not belong on this place. A prepared
No,
island.
we're tourists, says Swift.
We will
We're,
not be staying here long.
We're just here to visit and yes, just explore a little bit and then we'll be on our way, she says charmingly. With a persuasion roll, probably.
You
I
can
rolled
make
the dice in the
a
wrong place.
you can make a persuasion check on that one.
Just tourists, don't mind us. Just here for the sights. 24. Don't mind us. You know, draw a few pictures. Make
The
few
animation-
memories.
The animation
able
in
to-
Fantasy Grounds of the dice rolling for me is like jittery, especially when Janet's rolling. So it's like it seems to land on a number and then jump to another and then jump to another rather than rolling. And twice now
Yeah.
it has landed on a 1, and I've gone crap, and then jumps to like a 13 or an 18 or something. I'm like, oh no, that's good.
Oh, that's good. It's fine.
No,
this is
yes, no.
technomancy, and I am cheating.
It's technomancy. Yeah.
Technomancy, I'm just
There you go.
whispering into the
That
computer.
explains everything. All right. The creatures look to you and they say, "Very well, but know this: should you fight upon this island, then you will join the Forgotten." And he opens up his robe, and as he opens the robe, you see it's almost made...
wow, he is hung.
He is very hung. You can see inside of the robe, like almost inlaid into the ethereal and spectral cloth, are the faces of countless suffering humanoids.
Oh dear.
Could you define fighting, please?
It's a marital count.
This is a place of rest for the one who is here.
The one who is here is hardly resting when his influence is affecting not only this plane but the next.
Our concerns are not with this other plane of which you speak. So long as he remains here, our duty is to keep him thus.
You keep
you're
him
like-
here?
Nannies.
You're gonna hear this like high pitched hissing coming from Azala's, and his tongue is gonna come out and flick. I'm gonna use my divine sense just to check if these guys are actually undead. I mean, it's kind of obvious. There might be something else there.
It might be illusions. It might be magic.
yeah, exactly.
They're not undead. They're dead.
They're dead. Okay, cool. So I sense no celestial fiend undead
No.
on them. So they're just like empty ness.
They're
Yeah.
full blown dead. They're
okay,
dead.
cool.
Yeah, they are not They have not been.
Yeah, they're not
reanimated anyway.
undead. Okay, cool.
You say
You
that you
know.
keep him. Oh, go ahead, honey.
No, if you wanted to speak.
No, it's fine. You know, it's fine.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. I'll wait my turn.
You do know, though you keep him beholden to this realm, his influence spreads. This is Dren we are speaking of.
This is not where Captain Dren rests.
Never mind, I rescind my
Shit.
time.
Shit, we're in the wrong place.
Yes, I think that you were correct before when saying this is not our intended destination.
Yeah, actually, you're absolutely
You
right.
were
This is not.
correct.
Could you, if you could, directions to Dren, please?
We're here for Dren.
Yeah, does the
This
magical
is
golden
the
bus
resting
come here?
place.
Who are you holding, actually?
This is the resting place of Evan Blackmore. Alistane, as soon as those
Yes.
words leave his lips, there is this almost piercing pain in your stomach. Evan Blackmore was the master at arms aboard Dren's ship.
Oh.
While Dren gave the orders on many of the battles that he had fought, it was always the hand of Evan Blackmore that saw the slaughter of every merchant crew, every execution. It was done by his blade. You remember this
Oh.
because you know the sound of his blade. The sound of a whistle through reeds. It still, till this day, haunts your nightmares.
Yeah, you see Alistane go a pale green. All, for the most
Whereas
part, all
do-
color seems to
Do I any chance I've heard of this guy as well or no?
Yeah.
Based on your
famous swordsman.
based on Fawkes's check from previously about Snapper, yes, you will have known about him.
Right.
I'd say Swift, you do actually have quite a knowledgeable history because you've done your knowledge about the Dread Sea in general. While you may not know his relevance, you would know of a fighter on the seas known as Evan Blackmore, but you don't know anything about them. And Azalis, I wouldn't say that he is one of the most prolific fighters in the realms, but he's definitely up there.
But if you drop a wandering boss, he could be.
But if there's a boss buff here, or if there's the secret donation, then you can actually meet the greatest swordsman in my world.
I say Evan Blackmore, who is the master of arms of Dren's, right? And I tend to Alistane and sort of double take as I realize his face has gone kind of pale. Am I right?
I have seen his face in so many dreams.
This weighs on you.
Aye, it is him.
What's your beef with him?
I saw him kill many of my friends.
That'll do it. Yeah. All right. So we find a way to screw him up too, or will Dren's influence, once defeated, affect this guy too?
What say you, Spectre?
Sorry, I kind of tuned out just then.
No, that's fine. If we were to deal with Dren, with Dren's influence,
I think you underestimate how much we give fucks about what you're doing.
our friend here has quarreled with this Evan.
If you would quarrel, then you will be evacuated from this isle.
Let me ask you, jailer, what happens if we were to destroy Evan? Would you be free of your charge? Would you move on to another that needs jailing?
To do so, you would need to kill us first.
What if we dealt with him without fighting?
They look at each other as discussed. Without
What?
fighting, you may meet.
You could get some closure, Alistane.
This is on you, Alistane. It's your call to make. My only beef is with Dren.
Alistane turns very retrospective for a moment, and there is visible pain on his face. But there's also the ghost of an idea kind of
dancing across his brow. If Blackmore was to move on from his torment, though deeply deserved, what would that do to Dren's influence on this place?
I think
To his hold over this realm and beyond?
this is a place made from his very essence. Should he perish, it would all come apart.
And then Blackmore would be free.
Yes,
Free to do what?
that is not our department.
What exactly is your department? What department do you work for?
Yes, who do you answer to? Who's your supervisor?
Are you
think
asking
it's
to see the
the-
manager, Azalis?
Yes.
The manager.
Okay,
What
Karen.
about-
It's a trick that I learned from my great aunt Karen.
He says a name, but as he does so, simply can't hear it. To speak the name almost sounds like your eardrums almost underwater while someone's playing a violin. Is probably the closest description to the words that he is saying.
Do we get the
How do you
vibe
spell
that it's that?
As he
I suddenly got that pen dropping scene from Hugh Laurie and no, never mind.
Yeah.
You know the one?
Fry,
I'm
bit
with
of
you,
Fly,
yeah.
bit of Fry and Laurie.
Fry and Laurie, yeah.
Yeah.
He drops the pen.
Yes, I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The so he waves his hand as he tries to spell it in the air, but you watch as like 4 or 5 different hands start to make these strange gestures in front of your eyes. Whatever it is, it seems as though the name of it is beyond comprehension.
Ah, you're dyslexic too. Don't worry, I understand.
What are you thinking, Stain? We go up and discuss with Evan. See where he's at. See what he's doing. See what's up there.
I worry about seeing his face again. What it would do, but curiosity lies that if we are to remove Dren's crew from this realm, if that wouldn't have some effect on Dren.
I was wondering the same. Perhaps it will be easier to deal with if we had the opportunity to weaken his crew. I certainly wouldn't be the captain I am without my crew. I put my arms around the two on either side of me.
I have an idea. If you'll go with me on this,
Of course.
I think there might be something we might be able to do here, although it is not going to be easy.
And yeah, I think Alistair would like to go and see Blackmore
All right.
if the jailers would permit.
They will indeed. Sensing some uncertainty and trepidation among you, you know, like there's obviously there's that doubt that lingers. They will allow it, but they give one final warning against battling against Blackmore here in this place. There will be consequences should this come to pass, but they will allow you to, as a member of the living, resolve your lingering history. The others are instructed to stay no closer, should I say, than over here in front of the precipice, where they will wait with you. It's close enough that you guys will be able to hear the conversation and potentially participate, but not so close as you will be able to engage quickly, unless you teleport.
We've got your back, Alistair. You've got
Good.
this.
You've got this.
Could you define for me one more time What would constitute as fighting?
To do harm.
I see.
Alistane
A lot of
looks
leeway
to
in there.
Falk. Alistane looks to Falk.
I have no intention of harming this individual.
I mean, he's already dead. How much more harm can you do?
That's pretty fair. Not gonna lie.
I whisper to Alistane, I can definitely talk us out of this.
I'm going to play one of your cards on this.
And Alistane will approach.
How does one do the measury thing in Fantasy Ground?
Good
Right click, and
question.
there should be a little arrow that'll give you a pointer.
Ah, yeah,
that you
right
can
click.
use.
There we are. Thank you.
All right.
Hey, 30 feet. You've still got your +2, as long as you don't take a single step further.
Don't even leave.
All right. First of all, V Sword Dancer has just tipped $20 to the stream. Let us know where you would like to put that.
Thank you.
Would you like to give someone a nat 20? Would you like to give hero points out? Would you like to put that $20 towards our secret menu item? Let us know in chat, and we will get that done. All right. As you approach, you can see that there are these mounds of treasure that seem to be lying everywhere. At the end of this large, rocky, I guess, ledge, you can see that there is a small grave that has been made. Standing before it is this figure.
Ooh.
That's cool.
All right, let's...
Ooh, he's ghostly too.
He is very ghostly,
Ooh.
indeed.
That's a nice sword.
A ghostly
Nice
man
sword.
who is about 45-ish years of age when he died. His clothes and his weapons and all of his physical materials still seem to be quite physical, but his body, flesh, and hair are all almost as ethereal as the two who spoke to you earlier. He turns to face you, and you see that one of his eyes has been removed and is now covered with an eye patch. Alistane, will you share us the story of how he got this particular wound?
Yeah, cool.
That is a good question.
On the night of Alistane's original ship's destruction, as Blackmore cut a bloody swath through his friends and allies. Ooh, gunpowder clouding the air thick as fog, and his blade swinging down in a violent arc. Alistane was tossed back as bodies were falling left and right and pinned underneath one of his closest friends who had fallen on top of him. He looked up as this madman just continued slicing his way through his crew. As they began to fight back and the ship started to crack and crumble as the forces of Dren started to retreat, Blackmore stayed a moment longer than he probably should have, continuing to drive his sword into bodies that had already fallen. Using his friend as cover, his fallen friend as cover, Alistane pulled out his pistol and, covered in blood, eyes bleary with tears and stinging with sweat, aimed for Blackmore. And as the ship rocked, it jolted his arm. And instead of the shot that would have hit right between the eyes and ended Blackmore for good, It instead went right through the eye socket, and Blackmore fell back onto Dren's ship as it drifted away, and Alistane sunk into the sea.
I love it.
Yeah.
With these memories fresh in your mind, this man looks to you and he says, "Huh, not often we get visitors this far out. I must say, you're quite unusual. Don't believe we've met."
I believe we have.
Oh? You're a lot more lively than the folks that I tend to meet.
I imagine so. Do you remember the night you lost your eye?
He reaches up and touches his eye patch. As he does, you see him take a moment. He then looks at you and he says, "Ah, yeah, you were that little squirt. I've got to say, you grew up nice and big, didn't you?"
No thanks to you.
"Oh, au contraire. You look stronger than ever. Who would have thought it? Little runt like you, with a large sack enough to pull a gun on me? Well, color me surprised," as he taps his eye patch again.
Tell me, Blackmore. What? I suppose it's useless to ask why.
Why, my hair still seems to look so silky smooth despite all the salt water. Go on.
Prestidigitation's a hell of a spell.
It's actually
Why?
a pretty damn good spell.
It is a very good spell. We are agreed on that. Why? Why the blood? Why the slaughter? Why the butchery? What drives a man to that?
Sometimes it's the simple things, isn't it? Money, gold, treasure. It's just what that means that changes from person to person, innit?
Is that all it was? Greed? Hunger? For more?
And what if it was, eh? You gonna resent a person for being stronger? For surviving? Don't make me laugh. You come to a dead man complaining about the dead.
Alistane looks back to the rest of the crew and then looks to Blackmore. And all of the pain in the back of his eyes, that, you know, all the memories that seeing this man again dredged up, kind of just turns to sadness and sorrow.
No resentment. Only pity. What you had was not strength. You had power, certainly. But you were beholden to that power. You were a slave to it, driven on further and further. And here you are. And what do you have for it? Silky smooth hair. It's not nothing, but it's not a lot.
You might be right there, my son. Question isn't so much about was it worth it, but do I regret it? Nah, Nah, we all gotta live our life the way we do, don't we? How about you? If you're here, then you've got to have a pretty damn good reason. Is that something worth dying for?
I suppose not. But
Well, as soon as you say
death
that,
is not just the end.
he actually walks up to you.
Mm-hmm.
And as he does, he says, grabbing hold of just the lapel of your jacket,
Mm-hmm.
he says, "Then good. Because nothing worth doing is worth dying over. Doing shit that's worth living for, that's where I went wrong. Look, I'd kill again and again and again just for the sheer joy of it. But truth be told, I wanted to find that person to put an end to it all. But they couldn't manage it. Nah, not with the captain the way he was. I thought it could be me. I was wrong. We all were. And I'm sure you heard the story of the fate, what met the people that were on board Dren's ship. Betrayed. Ain't that a laugh? He lets you go at this point and turns back. He says, "Now I'm stuck here. Stuck here with all the treasure I could want. Everything promised. But with nothing. Nothing to show for it."
I took your eye once. And you took so much from me. No more taking. I give you this.
Oh, sorry, you go.
Here I rest in my victory vein. My foes laid to waste, my soul in twain. Let all who know hunger's greed, with this act herein be freed. With mercy's hand I bade you cease. Fist of gold, at last, release. I forgive you, Blackmore.
As you say that, you watch as Blackmore's body begins to transform. The clouds in the sky start to roll into this ongoing storm. Lightning and thunder begin to just crash from high above you. As it does so, you watch as gold begins to rain down on this scene. As you watch his body start to encapsulate in magic. From his feet upwards, it transforms him into a solid gold statue. He looks up, and you can't actually tell because he's a ghost and he has no physical body, but the way that the gold falls over his body, it almost makes it look as though the rain has become tears that pour from his eyes.
Bloody fucking hell, that worked.
Also, there's a horse.
The rain horse is here again.
The rain horse.
The rain horse.
The golden rain horse.
The
Golden
rain
rain
horse.
The
horse.
rains.
Yes.
None of us are proficient enough in religion to know it, but it's basically a horse that goes across the sky pulling a chariot of gold, and the gold spills out the back, and it causes it to go rain. If you knew more about the history, it's a horse giving us a golden shower. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Thank
sounds
you.
like the dark side of Tumblr.
It's a
Well
glorious
done, you
legend.
found it.
It happens a lot with Sirenscape. You pick the rain, it's like there's a horse.
There's a horse there, and you're like, okay, cool. There's a horse here.
Tumblr is the dark side.
All right. Blackmore, as he begins to transform, says one thing. He says, "In all my time, the one thing I wanted was the only thing I wasn't looking for. Ain't that a thing? Listen. You know my name, but I never learned yours.
Alistane. Alistane Porter.
I shout, don't tell him your name, Alistane!
No, well,
Swift,
shit,
yeah.
fuck.
Swift, under Swift, she's like, oh, never give them your real name.
He softly
Who says that's Alistane's real name?
He, as you say that, he looks to his side and says, "Then Alistane, I wish you luck on whatever it is you're up to. But know that while Dren wears his glove, he is without equal." And with that, his mouth turns into gold. And where once he stood as a specter of who he was in his former life, now just a solid gold statue. And this is where we're going to take our very quick 15-minute break, or 10 to 15-minute break, and we'll be back with more adventure, because we are doing a 3-hour, double-long episode. So thank you very much, everyone, for doing that. We're gonna go. We're gonna go do the thing, and then we're gonna come back, and we're going to continue our gripping conclusion to Sirens and Silver. Go grab some water, grab a drink, and we'll be back momentarily. We'll talk to you guys soon. Alrighty then, g'day and welcome back, guys. My name's Michael, I'm Dead as a Gamer, and we're here for part 2 of our gripping conclusion to Sirens and Silver. When last we left off, our heroes had managed to find themselves wed inside the belly of a large pile of... Sorry, Patrick was waving. They found themselves inside of the belly
He's
of a
showing
large...
off his carrot ring.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Where all 4 of our players managed to get married inside the belly of this large treasure boat thing, which took them to a small island, which was housing the spirit of none other than Evan Blackmore, a former master-at-arms on the pirate ship of Dren Goldfist, one of the notorious pirates here. Alastane, whose former crew had been slain in cold blood by Evan Blackmore, managed to confront his childhood villain and come to a resolution of many of the sleepless nights that haunted him as a child. After forgiving Evan and performing a ritual which allowed his spirit to somewhat find peace, the spirit of Evan was turned into a gold statue, leaving our heroes here on this island. The ghostly specters that once guarded it vanish into the ether as the rain, gold as it may be, continues to pour down upon this small island. One thing of note does seem to take notice of. Both you take notice of it and it takes notice of you in a certain way. Captain Falk, in the piles of treasure that you can see, there is what looks to be a lantern. It looks identical to the lantern that previously you had found in an old tavern where your sadly one of the tavern workers, a lovely woman by the name of Buttercup, met a grisly end. But yes, it apparently shows you the location and direction of Dren's treasure. There's Butterscotch. What did I say?
Buttercup.
God damn it.
It's fine. I wrote Buttercup in the chat. That's my fault.
It's fine. It's Butterscotch. It was Butterscotch. It's Butterscotch now. All right. But yes.
The Butterscotch of lies.
Yes. The Butterscotch of taffy that tastes like biscuits. I don't know. Anyway. Fork, you find this lantern that you recognize.
I do, and I walk over to it, and this one isn't being held by in the death grip of a tight dwarven hand, presumably.
Funny you mentioned that. No, it's not. It's not even a little.
I will summon my sword. Seems to create out of a water a string of water which instantly freezes into a rapier, and then I'll stick it through the handle and lift it up, and I'll look at it real close, and then I'll touch it.
All right.
If it doesn't seem to be exuding a black aura of death and necrosis and evilness before I touch it.
It does not. Instead, however, as the moment you touch it, it illuminates with a golden flame, this one looking very different to the kind of sickly aura that was around the one that you originally found. This, however, creates almost a lighthouse beacon out into the vast oceans. You watch as the swirling mists and the storm almost immediately pass away, and there you can see the grotto that you were at earlier on. It is a fair distance away, but you can now see a very clear and decisive path to said grotto.
Hey, crew, I can see a clear and decisive path to the grotto.
And we see it too.
It's this way.
Only Captain Falk can see it.
Okay. Are you
Seems
sure?
to be, yes, this seems to be one of... This seems to be one of his lanterns. Don't speak when I'm speaking. I'm your damn captain. You wait until you're spoken to.
No, Captain, we've all agreed taking turns is,
No, you're
is
right.
a healthy way of communication.
It's a healthy communications in the relationship. Swift, what were you going to say?
Yeah, the ghost said no fighting. Stop fighting.
The ground crumbles. Oh no!
wait. Ejected. Look, I have one of these lanterns. It's leading us the way. I feel like it's this way. I just get a feeling from a divine DM power that we're going to follow this to the grotto.
That did not go so well last time, but okay. If we want to follow Dren's magic lantern, let's just be ready
to be
for
fair,
whatever it is we find.
Even last time, though, the lantern was still pointing us the same way that this one is. It's just that I wanted it for a different reason. I was following the lantern because it was pointing to Dren and his treasure.
Can we double check one thing real quick?
Sure.
Can you put the lantern down?
I attempt to.
The lantern is put down.
And I lose track of where it's pointing me and everything.
Yes.
If you do not trust me with it, I'll understand if one of you wants to take it instead.
Less a matter of trust of you and more a matter of trusting strange lanterns found in odd places.
I figured if any of us was going to be possessed by it, we at least would know what we're facing if it was me.
Fair enough.
All right.
We're going. I'm going to lead the way.
You walk towards the ocean and you look out upon its vast emptiness.
I take up a coin from the pile and I put it in the lantern because I remember it was fueled by gold last time.
It gets brighter.
Okay. I take up a coin and I throw it into the ocean.
It sinks into the golden waves.
Great. I'm out of ideas. I can fly. I can fly. The rest of you can't. So I'm not out of ideas, but you guys are.
I'm gonna do that, and then I will activate Divine Sense.
Activate the Divine Sense?
Yeah. Within 60 feet.
What does it specifically find?
Celestial Fiend Undead.
There are none of those three things in that range. However...
All right.
Oh!
There's the combat music.
However, as if responding to your wishes,
I take the ready action.
Your conch shell begins to glow.
Swifts?
Swifts.
Oh!
Guys?
Does anybody know any way across any ship or... Oh.
Around.
Oh, God.
Shiny shell.
Shiny shell hot fish man.
Is your...
Be honest?
Oh, sorry, did you blow it?
You should answer it.
Did I what, sorry?
To blow on the shell?
Did you blow it? He said.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought he heard. I don't know what kind of marriage.
You fucking heard him. Did you blow the shell?
Did you blow it? Did you blow Ionis? The shell of Ionis?
I call out his name. It is possible that some of my breath goes over the shell, but no, I did not huff on the shell.
Very well. Well, yeah, that'll do.
He's saying blow the shell and it'll call him.
As you...
Okay, so I hold up the shell and whisper to it, be honest. But very romantically.
All of a sudden, somewhere just on the
like
sheet,
I'm
it's like,
pronouncing
do I smell garlic? The hell?
No, carrots.
Oh, carrots. Yeah, carrots.
Carrots, yeah, of course.
That's right. All right.
Carrots, I'm curiously wedding cake.
All right.
Swift, have you never blown a conch shell before? Like, hold it like it's a horn. Hold it up and just blow into it. It'll make a noise.
Wait, is it a conch shell? How big is
it's a conch shell. It's like that big.
So how am I not wandering around like this?
Oh no! Sorry, no. The one that was glowing in the treasure chest when you first arrived here. That one.
Ah, yes.
Not the necklace one. The other one. That one starts glowing. The one that
just
reminded
a massive conch shell on the necklace.
Yeah, I was like.
No, that makes a little more sense now. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Crawling around on like hands.
To have said that Swift's necklace grew 3 sizes that day.
just thick-necked, like freaking Batista.
Yeah,
just like a buff rabbit.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Swift is yoked.
Yeah.
Really strong lower back muscles.
Whenever I'm not talking, I'm doing press-ups. That's what's going on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, okay. So in that case, I will walk towards the conch shell that is in the
treasure
chest that is glowing. Correct?
Very well.
Great. Yes. Good. Okay. Fantastic. So I walk towards the conch shell that is glowing, and I look at the others, and nobody stops me.
Answer it. I think it's your
Gotta
boyfriend. It's
pick
going
it
to be an awkward conversation about.
Don't let it go to voicemail. It's so difficult to get a hold of that with those things. I never know what button to press. There's no buttons.
I'm amazed we get signal down here. I don't know. I mean,
All right. As you do so, all of a sudden, there is an eruption of water on the surf, and you watch as these large teeth and a multitude of eyes suddenly break the surf, and you hear this as a large ship that is in the shape of a large mimic, covered from head to toe with tiny parrot people, being sailed by what looks to be a fishman.
Chippy!
That is a lionfish. As your vessel emerges, you hear the chattering of the macaw. And you can obviously see the large mimic sort of pulling up. It almost looks like an angry bull with the giant horns that Azalis had put there. So now it's kind of like
a cool ship.
It's kind of now got like these angry demon horns.
oh, it's just a baby.
Such a cutie boy.
And with a flick of his large sail, Aeonus, this man here, this guy right there, turns and says, "Somebody called for a ride."
You came! I shout, and I run over to Shippy.
All right, as you bound over to Shippy, you leap very easily up and onto the deck, and you watch as Aeonus runs towards you, arms outstretched. As he does so, he says, my love, every single moment spent away from you, it was pure sadness and sorrow. The oceans were deep and dark, but no darker than the loneliness that gripped around. Wait, what the hell is that? As he looks at your the ring on your finger.
You put a ring on it.
this?
Sorry.
I think you guys have to. We'll give you some space.
Yeah, we're just gonna go
Oh,
over here.
I
This is
fly-
awkward.
I awkwardly fly backwards, just away.
Yeah, I find somewhere a bush to like recede into.
I'm flying to the rear of the ship, and I'm flying
Yeah.
down over the edge to scratch out the old name and write in the new name, Total Bullshit.
Yes! I approve.
Finally! We finally have a name for the ship.
All right.
Okay, so are you ready for this?
Oh,
My
yes.
love. When a crew love each other very much, and I know that you're from the sea, so this is not something that you would know about, but when a crew love each other very much, a mummy crew and a daddy crew, they do go through a very special ceremony together. Now, this is something that only the best and most beloved crews go through. Crews such as ours who have loved and lost. And I reach out and almost touch his face, and then remember that he's very poisonous,
Super
and just sort of air cradle his cheek. And so, finally, our crew together came to a realization that we were ready to take that next beautiful step. And we have become a married crew. But that does not mean that our love that shines like the brightness of an anglerfish in the darkness, is any less beautiful, any less worthy. And so, my love, I ask you, do not see only this as an exclusion of love, but as an inclusion of love. Come, join our crew and be beloved. And I'm gonna roll a chunky persuasion check. I'm using my hero point to take advantage.
Very well. You may do so.
I think I will need it. You know, it's the last lie. The last lie that covers
Oh,
them all.
you
That
dropped.
is a 29.
You dropped a
Let's
natural 1.
Go.
Oh,
I dropped a
yes.
natural 1. That is a 29 to bullshit my love into not being mad with me and to also joining our
For
crew.
being married.
He says,
Yeah, I
Alistair pulls
accidentally
out a
got married
handkerchief.
platonically to my crew. Lols.
Promise
Sorry.
myself.
But I swear we have different marriage beds.
That's what I call a Saturday night to remember.
Yeah. When a crew love each other very much, or they want extra protection for the upcoming fight, they also, when
There
a
was so
crew
much
sometimes
gold here, I
get
thought it
drunk
was Las
together.
Vegas. Yeah, exactly.
he says, I do not understand. Maybe Mother was right. The ways of the surface world are too strange and alien.
But my love, when has love ever been something that was understood with the mind? Love is understood, and I take his hand in mine, with the heart. Don't you think?
Make a
Or
con
as you
save.
would say, n'est-ce pas? No, I don't want to be stabbed. Wait.
Alistair just has lesser restoration ready to go.
yeah. Just hits her on the back of the leg.
Just
Alistair,
like
I
it's
get a
like a
plus
hand
four.
is like, no, I got it. It's fine.
Yeah, I'll be nearby. 10 feet. I'm stealthing. I don't want to.
This is the definition of a toxic relationship.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my god.
+5 actually. So
That is a 3.
8 then
With-
with my
with-
aura. Oh wait,
didn't work.
you're immune to
work.
poison
Oh,
because
no, there
of the
we go.
hero's feast, aren't you?
You are immune to
Oh, you're
poison
immune to
because of the
poison
hero's
because of the
use. You're immune to poison
You
right
can
now.
fucking just neck him!
can
Neck
kiss
him!
him.
Neck him!
I was
This
gonna
is-
say,
Kiss him,
I
kiss him,
take
kiss
his hands, feeling like I should be poisoned, but I'm not poisoned. And then I
Yeah.
put his hand on my cheek, and then I take his head and I go blem 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 blem, and I kiss his beautiful
All right.
pointy face. You see, it is love. It's a miracle.
He with that
Very good
with that gesture, he absolutely believes it.
Oh,
Because he
It's easy to convince a guy when you're necking him.
Yeah, that's true. That's very
Gonzalez
true.
brings his head on
We are not a
Alistair's
difficult
Stick his
shoulder.
tongue down his throat. Yeah.
All right,
Very
so-
persuasive.
So, as you kiss Prince Aeonis, his eyes sort of close, and he's always been accustomed, even among his own people, the royal family, who are of course lionfish, don't get a chance too often to engage in physical contact because of their poisonous nature. But with you being immune, he for the first time he feels like his love can simply pour out, and it is a feeling that he has never expressed before. As he looks at you, his eyes lock with yours, and he understands what you're saying. He understands what love truly means. It's not just a platonic love between a crew and the people around them. It's not the love of a person who is always there for you and always thrives off you. It is being able to max someone without them dying from poison barbs. That is the true meaning and spirit of love.
Yeah.
And you have shown
Yeah, absolutely.
you have shown
I've
Prince
shown him the
Aeonis-
way.
Yes, you've
Yeah.
shown Princess.
I
Prince Aeonis
stroke
this.
his lionfish stabbies. I stroke them with my ears as we kiss.
He says, I don't know about this, but perhaps. Oh, what the hell? There's only so much time we have in this wide and crazy world for two people, born oceans apart, to try something new. And he'll go up and he'll hug Azalis
Oh, friendly.
and stab him with like lots of little barbs, and then walk up and grab Alistair and give him a hug and stab him with lots of little barbs, and then
I'll say a real
focus.
quick cast bark skin just to make sure. It's like,
That's
"Some
my
man, we're
friend."
good. All right, hug away.
Does this mean you want to marry us as well?
I can give a poison resistance anytime you need.
He
Wink,
says-
wink.
he says, I don't know if we've got
Thanks,
time.
Sonny.
It's
That's
only
it.
about an hour to the to the port just up ahead.
I'm I'm actually immune to poison anyway, so if you ever want to kiss, we can. It's fine.
I don't think we're there yet. I'm really
Oh, no,
more,
that's fine.
I'm really
We'll
more.
get there,
No, that's okay. I understand.
We'll
This
get there
is
someday, you know. But we
the-
maybe we'll sail together a little bit, get to, you know, have a meal.
very, very
good
understanding
day.
You know,
relationship.
I
we
think you
have
can tell a
here.
lot by the way people eat. Like if you're compatible. Like, you know, I just can't stand people who like neck things because it reminds me of pelicans, and we don't get along with pelicans.
Yeah,
For
legit.
Each
just
their own.
stop
We'll work.
knowing exactly how Alice eats. Thoughts like, yeah, that's gonna go well.
And then he's gonna, and then
Everything will be fine.
and he's gonna kiss Fork on both cheeks, like, you know,
Yeah.
kinda, yeah.
I feel like I've just
Very
finished
Italian.
etching the new name into the side of the ship, which was kind of like you're branding a cattle. It was kind of like the mimic ships like jumping out of the way as I'm scratching into it. So I'm like, just hold still. Eventually, I kind of like came up, but I didn't want to get close enough for the guy to stab me with his spine. So I just lean out my cheeks for kisses instead. Thank you.
And as you're trying to carve into the mimic, which it's just not letting you, you realize two things. One, you could have just told it, and it would have changed. And
It's
two,
not how I do things.
and two, one of the macaw comes down with a tattoo gun.
yeah, that'll do. Wiping away. Stay still. It's not going to be straight. I'm doing this freehand.
Is anyone on this crew really? Are we sure?
Swift, as you now have your romantic ingenue, you now also gain, for the purposes of today's, the rest of today's game, you are also toxic, meaning that you can apply the poison of the lionfish to any of your attacks.
Yes.
Yeah, for the rest of the day, basically.
I like that.
I feel like this is a somewhat toxic relationship, but we'll work it out.
We'll work it out somehow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The crew sets sail. With the macaw cheering and celebrating, you make your way directly towards the eye of this large storm, illuminated by the lantern that Captain Fawkes now holds. The macaw, the mimic, the crew, they are all now once again united together. We also have a couple of things here, just real quick. The sword has given Alistair a nat 20. The group has an insight bonus. And Millsy has donated a magic bag. Millsy, tell us where you would like to throw that magic bag. We also have a hype train going, so there is something that I will put up in just a moment, but we'll see how we go. All right. As you guys get closer to this this place, I want everyone to just go around, and this is going to be in place of favorite moments, to reminisce on one element of your character's adventure from the journey you've had over the 12 episodes. All right.
I will start. Are we talking like favorite moments, or just like a memorable moment?
Your character's like something he's reminiscing, or something he's yeah.
So
Whatever
reminiscing
yeah.
sounds like a good thing then, like positive light. We're looking at things through rose-tinted glasses, right?
Yeah.
All right. So in that case, it was the moment that he met Poseidon and realized that he was no longer beholden to this thing that he had been born to, this thing that was wedded to him before he was even born, this life of servitude to an unforgiving master, an unsatiated hunger that he led his life following because of the cult that his parents were part of. And he was freed of that the moment he met Poseidon. And granted, he got himself in bed with another master, but still, at least this one seems to be less unscrupulous, shall we say. So that moment he's reminiscing on.
All right, Alistair?
Alistair is thinking back to all of the different moments where he became closer with the crew, you know, with Swift, the initial, just the mutual worry over the captain, but then really coming to like understand each other and where they, you know, where their friendship sort of entwines, both, you know, kind of letting loose a little bit and letting that little shit stir inside of him come out and letting Swift influence him like that, and hopefully influencing Swift to be a little bit more responsible with the cooking, and letting Binkley cook. With Azalis like that, really realize it, realizing the bond that they share as, in their own ways, warriors on the sea, and coming to a bit more more of a brotherly bond between the two of them, although now it's a little strange to call it brotherly that they're married, but we'll think about that later, or not. Maybe we'll never think about that. Let's never think about it now.
All right, Swift.
Yeah, I think for Swift, it's also the relationship with the crew. She thinks back to when she first joined the crew, and the captain would ring the bell, and that whole massive argument that they ended up in, where the captain was basically reaming her for strolling onto the deck after 15 minutes. Alistane was yelling at her because she damaged the ship. Whereas now they're not just a family, all married, right? I was going to say, it's found family, but we've gone one step further than found
literal family.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. And I think for her, that's what that marriage represents in a way. It's she was very much the outsider of the group, and now she feels like she's part of a brotherhood. She's part of something that is very meaningful to her, that she's never experienced before. So I think she remembers each of those sort of bad events, and how much the world has changed. Her world has changed. How, she was so alone, and now she just feels so loved. Like it's a transformation for her. Basically, she looks around, and everywhere she sees somebody that she loves, somebody that she would, actually sacrifice herself for.
All right, and Azalis.
All right. So Azalis is pondering the meaning of conquest and glory. He often would step up for his own glory, or try to better himself and become more infamous or more famous. As he looks at the rest of the companions, the crew, he's thinking about how that has changed. The meaning of that has changed. It's no longer his glory or his conquest. It is our conquest and our glory. He ponders the moment that he stood up to the front of the ship and dived right in and took out that ramfish, to the point where he is now, where he stood next to his companions, has done amazing things with them. He wants to see everyone succeed in their own way.
Absolutely wonderful. All right. As this happens, and you chat, and you drink, you eat, you celebrate with the macaws and the like, there is a sudden flash from the sky. This golden ray of light begins to shine down over the ship, almost in a perfect circle. Without being able to react, mostly because we've only got 20 minutes, Alistane, several of the macaw shove you overboard. Fork, you are kind of doing the tattooing. When the mimic ship itself sort of sways and staggers, you kind of lose your bearing, because the rope suddenly becomes, instead of being firm like rope, turns into basically spaghetti and drops you into the water. Azalis, several of the macaw try to knock you into the water, but you're too big. And suddenly you remember that winch that Alistane made?
Yeah.
Wham! As you manage to grab one of the macaw who's hanging onto you just as you fall in the water. Swift, you and Aeonis are on the helm, looking at the sky, which has now just gone pure gold. He looks to you and shoves you back, but as he does so, you watch as this light basically envelops the entire ship, and the whole thing in one go transforms to solid gold.
Shippy!
No!
As you land in the water, the ship
My child!
starts to sink into the water, its weight dragging it down, the various golden macaw falling to the bottom of what seems to be a bottomless ocean. You're kind of treading this golden water as you look down into the depths. You can see that there's just still with an outstretched hand. Aeonis is the last to disappear into the depths from the aft of the ship. Standing, or should I say, airwalking, on the surface, you see this.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The ghostly figure of a halfling with a golden sword and golden gun. Smoldering embers burning like shackles through his beard that is also kind of... It goes from like this ghostly color into almost like this dripping gold that drops little droplets of boiling hot molten gold into the water, which smoke and sizzle the salt water at his feet. With a half-torn and disfigured ghoulish face, he looks to you and says... So I have heard that there be some buccaneers what think they can come into my ocean and take what ain't theirs. Ye be foolhardy, to say the least, to think ye can square with the likes of Captain Dren Goldfish.
I'm sorry, did you say Dren Goldfish?
Fished, like you know, Sean Connery.
Goldfish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fished. It's a fish.
I mean, Goldfish would be more suitable for the half man with the golden gun. And then I'm going to whoosh out of the water and just get up to level with him, sort of treading wind, as it were.
All right.
Like treading water, but with my wings.
All right. You fly and you are now holding that position in the water. Alistane, what about yourself?
I think Alistane is going to join his captain in the air, is going to ignite his gem flight, and is going to begin casting, I believe it's Wrath of Nature.
All right.
The spell that turns me into the cool like embodiment of nature itself.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
That
So you watch as this whirlpool starts to coalesce around you and clear away from you. So you're not really flying out of the water, more that the water is just parted away from you from the sheer force of nature around you as you then rise up on the air currents. Swift?
I'm still on the ship, aren't I?
No, you were pushed off by
The lava.
Aeonis.
Aeonis.
The
Yeah.
lover boy.
So I'm in the water.
Yeah.
In which case I continue to tread water because there's not much I can do. Don't got wings.
Yeah, I'm the
Unless
same.
will
there's some land
say,
around
with-
here that I haven't spotted.
I will say Wrath of Nature does cause trees, rocks, and grasses in a 60-foot cube centered on the point that I choose to grow and become animated until the spell ends.
Looking around, you can see that there is still some debris and flotsam from when Azalis was knocked into the water. Actually, you know what? This is actually going to work better. You see one of the macaw that Azalis is holding. He's...
What are you trying to say? Yes, you have a few cavities.
He puts his foot in your mouth and uses his other hand to like lift your mouth open. He then throws what looks to be a fistful of gummy bears into your mouth. Thwam!
That's how you got the cavities.
You then watch as your body starts to create these webbings on your feet, and you can actually now tread water perfectly because you now have a swim speed of 30 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Now, Swift, you are treading water, and you realize you're getting tired very quickly because treading water is very different to treading gold. But as this happens, all of a sudden, you watch as this ladle flies out of your back and wraps around you, and these kind of like almost like human hands start to lift you
Oh my god.
out of the water. The hands also have eyeballs on them.
Yeah, of course.
Of course they do. Binkley, you're the best. Thank you.
Pan's Labyrinth.
All right. For the last time, we are going to go into initiative.
How high up in the air is?
Oh, he has airwalk, not fly.
Yeah.
So he
Okay, cool.
can't actually get more than like 5 or 10 foot above the water level.
Brilliant. Okay, cool.
All right, Swift. Unsurprisingly, you are up first.
I sure am. How high am I right now?
For the
Of
time
the
being,
edge of
everyone's
the
kind of on
water?
the same plateau of
Hmm.
the just above the water.
And we're Theater of the Mind as well.
Theater of the Mind, yeah. If you want to drop dice, open up your combat tracker in Fantasy Grounds. Dren should be visible for you guys.
Binkley, can you get me any higher?
You watch as Binkley he struggles a little bit because he's not used to flying, hence why he's got human hands to do it. And you kind of feel yourself going up and down, but you are able to move. Your fly speed is only 20 foot, but you are able to do so.
That's fine. Binkley, take me higher if you can. So I would like to raise 20 foot up, so I have the high ground,
Yep.
which, as we have established, gives me advantage. And I am going to shoot Captain Dren with a piranha gun.
Yeah.
I've been waiting since I
Let's
got
go.
it. This man needed a piranha at the knee, and I'm happy to oblige. So, where are you, Drensticle? Where is the Dreninator?
So if you look in the combat tracker, you should be able to drop it on
combat
his name
tracker.
there.
Yep. I found it. Attack. Okay, so I am going to, with advantage, attack the Dren. Oh, so close.
That'll hit.
Yeah. So I whip out the piranha gun and I say, sometimes only a piranha will do. And I hold it out at arm's length and aim, and I fire, dealing a swarm of... oh, bollocks. Excuse me. I hate trackpads. I hate them so much. I hate them. That is 8 plus 5d6. That roll, of course it didn't. What am I doing? I beg your pardon.
All right, plus 19.
So that is 27 damage plus whatever the venom damage gives me. Because
Alright.
my piranhas
Yeah,
are
venom.
venomous.
All right, that's 2d6.
Venomous piranhas.
That's an extra 2d6 damage.
Extra 2d6 damage?
Mm-hmm.
You mean I get to So 27 becomes 30. Come on, Janet. 4. 34 damage as a swarm of venom dripping piranhas flies through the air at Captain Dren.
Nice. You can see that these piranhas also have like long quills, like kind of like almost like porcupine quills as well, as they poison and attack him. Actually, he is immune to poison, but I'm gonna say he's not immune to the lion poison because I'm not gonna give you poison and then go, haha, he's immune.
He's immune to
What
it
a
immediately.
jerk! What a jerk-hole move.
In the same episode, the finale.
All right. All right. We then go to Captain Dren. He looks around and sees his adversaries. He snarls as he says, "Then which one of ye be willing to step forth and join the treasure hoard in the briny depth first? I think it might be you, lass."
Who, me? I say.
Aye, you seem to already like to sleep with fishes.
One fish.
That's
One
actually
fish,
pretty good.
thank you.
And you watch as he starts to gargle like this kind of filthy like, and as he does so, molten gold coalesces in the back of his throat as he spits it through his index and his index finger and his thumb. You now see for the first time on his right hand is a gauntlet made of solid gold. And as he spits it through, this is a ranged attack.
Sounds pretty heavy.
On Audia Swift.
Heavy-handed.
He's pretty heavy-handed. Nice.
All right. Which does 28 points of damage.
You would think that it would.
You'd think it
you?
Oh,
You would think that that is the thing that would happen. However, I happen to be a rogue, and therefore, so how does this work? I take half damage because of evasion.
Yep.
Did
but
you
I
succeed?
also take.
Did you succeed the save?
Oh, yeah, I have to do a dex save. Thank you.
If you succeed the dex save, you take no damage.
That is a 24.
That'll do it. You take no damage as the gold gob flies towards you. You kind of backflip with Binkley because Binkley has no bones. So you kind of like backflip very easily with the hands not even moving, like it's still like. And as you do so, you manage to avoid the spit by rolling into it. He kind of growls. The next thing he's going to do.
A bunny in the air.
The next thing he's going to do is at this point. Now, I've got a question. Does anyone have any gold on their person?
No, Captain. No, Captain Falk definitely would not.
What's that?
I don't believe I do.
I don't believe I do.
Doesn't Swift?
Swift did.
No, Swift.
Captain Falk
I
took it.
did.
Oh, you
it
did.
Was
And then Captain
confiscated by
Falk
Captain
took it.
Falk.
Damn it. All right, you
Yes.
did. You
I
did
was
good
told off
because
a lot.
because that would have been very bad for you guys.
Yeah, after like if they hadn't saved Captain Falk from his descent into madness, then definitely I would be decked out with gold.
All right.
As soon as he came to consciousness, he was like, "Get that fucking stuff away from my ship in all manner."
It's a shame that you missed out, Dag, on that golden opportunity.
He's gonna go for you for every
for
attack
you.
now.
Yeah, he's going for you.
Yeah.
All right. So, Touch of Avarice. It is going to move over to Azalis, who is the only one in the water and swimming. And will lay a hand on your shoulder. He tries to force you into the water, and as he does, you need to make a Constitution saving throw, please. Now, this comes with an additive warning. Do not roll 13 or lower.
I will try my very best not to.
He's a paladin. He can't roll lower than that.
Yeah, I think I've got a +7 straight off the bat.
Well, there you go.
No, +9 straight off the bat, apparently.
There you go. So yeah, just you'll be fine. I'm sure.
Don't taunt the dice.
Don't roll a
Just
4 or
don't
less.
taunt them.
All right.
That's 20.
No, that is fine. All right. So, okay, cool. So you, as you feel him touching your shoulder, notice that your shoulder pad immediately starts turning to gold, and more of it is turning to gold faster. You rip off your shoulder pad and drop it in the water, which then just sinks into the waves. As he looks to you and he says, "So quick to discard my gift, are we?"
Well, yes. I don't want to sink and you're cursed.
Good comeback, Azalis.
What?
Thank you. I was almost a bard, you know.
He looks at you and he says, "What kind of pirate ain't willing to die for their bounty?" And we'll
I don't know if you've heard this, but gold's terribly out of fashion these days.
All right. It's very
Gaudy.
Alistane, you're up.
Alistane is the gems around Alistane that are floating in the air, keeping him aloft, separate once again, and be.
So sorry. What I did, it's chat. So sorry. Chat got it right. I made it's a +2, so 11. So still succeeds, I think. 17. Sorry.
Very well.
Yeah.
So wait, no, 17? 17 will fail.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right, so we'll come back to that in a second. Alistane,
what
real quick.
happened?
18.
Why did you?
18. Because I rolled charisma by accident. My bad. Yeah.
Oh, no, right.
All right, 18 will succeed, 17 will
Okay,
not.
cool. All right, cool.
Okay, so real quick, we got some insight bonuses that we're going to expend right now. You guys know, Alistair, since it's your turn, we'll go with you. You notice that the captain has no corporeal body. Every bit of energy seems to be coming from the gauntlet. The second insight bonus is that likely if you were to separate the ghost from the gauntlet, it would disrupt its ability to have as much power as it does in this area.
And the metal on him doesn't look like molten metal like the other guys.
No,
correct?
It looks like solid. Yeah, looks solid.
Okay.
As does the glove.
Well, in that case, the gems that are holding Alistane aloft separate again, keeping the astral wings as they are, and begin to focus in on the glove and the pieces of metal that are being held by the corporeal form. And Alistane is going to cast Heat Metal if that does anything at all.
It will, but however, he is immune to fire.
Of course he is.
So as the flames burn, you can see that the gold is getting hotter. He looks to you and just kind of chuckles as he breathes out smoke in your general direction, almost like just as like this kind of awful laugh, like.
It's worth a shot.
It'll work. Alistair, keep hitting the gauntlet. Sudden heat,
Yeah,
suddenly
Alistair-
quenched by sudden freezing, might do something.
Yep, Alistane holds concentration on heat metal.
All right. Your second inside bonus is that did you know that this was the Hand of Avarice? Did you I feel like that might have been a history.
He just touched us with a move called Hand of Avarice, so yeah.
No, as in from before when you guys were doing the history searches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We learned about the Hand of Avarice.
Yeah.
We know that this is the thing
Okay,
that's
yeah. So you would also know that
giving
it
him
can
the power
do
to
know.
exert influence on the mortal
So
realm.
you would know that the weapons of sin can only be destroyed in very particular ways.
Right.
But I mean, yeah.
Probably licking it, I think.
Yes, definitely licking it. All right, Captain Fork.
So as the golden gauntlet is heating up and he seems to not be cared about it, Fork, who has just burst out of the water, the ice still sharded as the water drips from his body. It turns to ice and forms the ice armor of Agathis as usual. But since he leveled up, since he had that delightful trip or whatever it's called on the Yellow Submarine and got married, he feels like he's got some sort of a mystical arcane boon from his patron. And so not only is it an armor of Agathis, it is an investiture of ice. A 6th level spell that makes me immune to cold damage and resistant to fire damage, and technically it would be my action to cast that, and then my action to do something else. But in typical Dag fashion, I'm going to petition with my hero point that I get to use an action again with a hero point.
I'll allow it.
Yeah, here we go. Hero point to use the investiture of ice to put my hand out in his direction, right towards his hand. As I fly right up into his melee range, I want to be right next to him, and I'm just gonna almost point blank, as if I'm gonna kind of grab his fist, but I'm gonna stop just shy, and then I'm going to chuck a 15-foot cone of freezing wind extending from my outstretched hand in his direction. He must make a Constitution saving throw.
He will fail automatically.
Alrighty, that was a DC 17 anyway, so I'm sure he would have. So he's going to take 4d6 cold damage, and if any of them are 1s, I can re-roll them. I can take them as 2s because and if he has resistance to cold, he is not resistant to cold against my spells because I took a feat that allowed me to do so.
Very well.
All right.
Then, for the sake of expediency, just roll it as a crit on him so that it'll negate the.
Yeah, I don't.
Hold down left
so
shift while you drop the damage.
Left shift. Okay. Shit, I dropped it already.
Did you?
Should I just? Yeah, I think I did. I should have.
You got to drop it on the
combat
tracker.
tracker.
The tracker.
I thought I had done drop it on the tracker.
It's not coming through.
Like on the combat tracker, I dropped it like on his token or on the.
On his
On
bar.
his
Anywhere
name.
on his bar.
Just anywhere on his bar. I did that before. It didn't come through. Okay, well, we'll try again. Hold down left shift. Drop it.
If it's not an attack or a damage that's logged as an action, it won't work. If it's just dice, you need to roll it in the.
Okay. I was just grabbing.
Right.
Dice.
Yeah, it's only if it's
your spell should have
it's only if it's programmed.
Yeah, drop in the chat box then. Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. So it's that
like
for the
3 times
regular
already.
base damage, and then if he's I don't know if it'll just take 16 if he's not resistant to it.
Very well.
16 cold damage. After the heat damage, I'm hoping that extreme cold to extreme heat. I was hoping the heat of it might have made it molten, and then I don't know, misshaped the thing by freezing it up again.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It seems to be quite resistant. However, you do find yourself in possession of a new item. It is a magic sword. It is a frost tongue blade that you now have, which you have forged. The magic happens in the magic bag that was given earlier by Millsy.
I see.
As you pull your hand back, the ice that you've used to like blast at him, you realize it hasn't done anything, and you've used it and just turned it into a bladed edge for you.
Cool.
And I will give you a free attack with it.
Frostblade attack. Did you say it's got like cold damage or something?
Yeah.
Being very good with a sword, I wield it over my head and bring it down. Slash across, specifically aiming for like the area of the ghost behind the gauntlet, trying to hit the ghost's arm.
Very well. Just give me 2 seconds.
Also, can I ask, is Azalis gold? He said he failed his thing.
No, I succeeded because I miscalculated. I rolled an 11, and it's actually +7.
Okay, so you just got it, right?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. You have the.
And Azalis, he was close enough to touch you, so I assume that you're close enough to be within 10
I'm waiting to
feet
see
of
if
me.
he moves away. He hasn't moved away yet.
If he's within 10, if you're within 10 feet of me now, which you must be,
Yeah, you get
from
+2 AC.
Yeah, we get +2, but I'm also saying that because of my investiture of ice, the ground in a 10-foot radius around me is icy and difficult terrain. So I assume that the water you're treading in doesn't have to be treaded so easily because it's turning icy and slushy.
Nice.
Hells yeah.
You can start to pull yourself up onto icy platforms. The longer I stay there, you can start to pull yourself up onto an ice shelf.
Let's do it.
All right.
Either that, or you've just turned him into a giant ice cube.
Or I could have frozen
he's
you
like-
in the water.
All
We'll
right,
work out.
For the sake of this, we are going American Gladiator style, so there are now these platforms that are nearby. Fork, the
Oh,
blade
yeah.
is now in your inventory on your
nice.
action bar, so you should be able to see it's a gilded sword.
Wonderful. Thank you. Gilded sword. There it is. Yes, a gilded sword. I'm going to drop that on Dren. Is that right?
Yep.
Ciao. Hey, it did it this time. Hey, great stuff. Good
That'll be
work.
So, all right. Azalis, seeing
All
your
right.
captain wielding a sword inspires you to show him how it's done.
This is what I'm good at. This is why I'm here.
I try to get up on the last side, grab
Not a
my
problem. Between your swim and your
sword.
regular speed, you actually aren't
Yeah.
hindered by the ice flow, so you.
Hells yeah. So the quick point of order, I need some updates to my sheet if I'm doing the automation rolls, because they're all out
We'll
of
just
whack.
go. We'll just fly by the seat of our pants for this one.
So you're okay if I use D&D Beyond for this? Because I can use it much faster that way. You just need to do the
Roll your
health.
attacks. You can roll your damage in D&D Beyond.
Okay, cool. Oh, okay. Well, like my attacks will my 2 hit will change because my 2
Then you
hits
can use
wrong
the
as well.
modifier on the bottom left-hand side to alter it
Okay,
as
cool.
it needs to be.
All right. Let's go.
But now, keeping in mind, you do need to move to get up to him.
Okay, I move up to get to him.
Yep. And then your action.
I'm gonna make 2 attacks. Actually, as I'm making my way up there, you can see that I'm going to activate my Spirit Shroud. Actually, no, I won't do that. I'm gonna move up and then I'm gonna make the attacks. Okay, so this needs to be a plus. Look. 3. Okay. Yes. First attack is gonna swing out. I'm gonna use Lucky on that.
Very well. Does Lucky work on natural 2s?
No, Lucky works on all attack.
okay.
And,
You
yeah.
can use the halfling luck only works on
Yep, that's
natural
what I'm
ones.
thinking
On ones, yeah.
All right. Whoosh. Much better.
All right.
It's gonna be a 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay, cool. And I'm going to be doing this amount of damage, and then plus another 3d8 on top of it. Okay, I'm gonna re-roll those twos as well.
So what's the? Do you want to declare the full attack?
Yeah, I'm
Like what
just getting it all now.
with your swing?
So I'm using a 3rd level smite on this full, and I'm bringing in the full power with Great Weapon Master as well.
Okay.
So it has 4d8 plus my improved smite plus my plus is this person undead?
Yes.
Yeah, plus another d8.
Nice.
Yeah, so 68. I've already rolled.
Let's go.
Yeah. So that's another so minus 4 from that. It's going to be 32, and then 43 plus another 2 of these. 42. That's got 45 damage on that hit.
All right, done.
And
Your
I'm
hit
bringing in
swings and collides with the creature, with its body. It shudders at the magic that you've used.
Yeah.
And has definitely caused it to like kind of really start discorporeating.
Hells yeah. Here comes the next one. I am the sword of the bullshit! Bring in the next one. It's going to be 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right, cool.
Incredible.
Yeah. We're going to go with
Accurate.
this.
Accurate as hell.
On this. I'm going to re-roll those 2. Okay. That's just going to add 36, and then another 2d8 on top of that. That's another 10, so 45 damage.
All right, he is still
46.
up and kicking.
46. Hells yeah. All right, cool. As I finish my, I'm gonna then hold my hand up, and as I do, I'm gonna cast Spiritual Weapon, and I'm going to summon a golden ship that was that was our bullship. I'm gonna try and smash it into them as well.
Very nice. All right, a incorporeal version of the mimic ship appears out of nowhere and just tries to ram into him.
That's a natural 1. That's fine. I'll let that one miss.
Yes, that is a natural one. Yeah, he kind of like just discorporeates and then passes.
This enormous ship appears and drops right towards him, and then through perspective changes, we realized it's like ship in the bottle size, and it just goes dink.
All right, Swift, we're back up to you.
All right, let's go.
All right, Swift is going to take another crack at the piranha gun. All right, I'm locked and loaded. Let's see what happens. She again points the musket down from her 20-foot height. He's not moved, has he? The halfling?
No, he is not.
Not significantly. So we are going to again wield the piranha gun of truth with a 22.
That will hit.
Excellent.
And as you deal the
Start some
damage.
Damage.
Nice. All right. The piranhas, as they fly towards the ghostly figure, literally they start to tear and pull him apart, and you watch as his body collapses into the water.
34
Yes.
damage. So again, this swarm of venomous piranhas fly through the air, and as they grab his flesh, you just see them like biting into somehow his corporeal form. And as they sink down into the gold, there's this sort of mire of bubbles and angry fins that splashes around where his feet was.
And with that, you watch as his body becomes one with the ocean. However, you then watch as the waves start to grow higher, and you hear a, "Well, not every day that I be given a right thrashing." But you can't beat me in a place like this. And you watch as the ocean itself starts to spawn one after another of these versions of Dren Goldfist. Only one of them is wearing the gauntlet. The rest of them seem to be made of this golden water. I'm gonna roll a d4 real quick.
Oh god, that's never good.
2. That is Alistane.
Yep. Yes, it is.
Alistane, the one with the gold fist, is closest to you. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw, as he grabs you by the
With
neck.
a +4.
With a +4.
With a +4, and I took
+5
the
if it's my
Guardian
roll.
of...
And a group inspiration
the-
from Ajo.
Oh my god, there's so much to this. So I have the Guardian of Nature that I took at the beginning, which is a Constitution saving throws with advantage. I have what else?
+5 Aura of Courage.
Okay.
Oh no, sorry, Protection or Courage. I do have Courage there, so don't be frightened.
Got it. Saves. Con save. We'll add a +5 to that. So
That
that's
is a
15
failure.
plus 5 is 20. 11 plus 13 plus 5. So a 20 is a failure?
No, 20 is not a failure. Sorry. Yes, 20 is
20
fine.
is a failure, so it's 15
No,
plus
20
5.
Yeah, 20 is not a failure. You managed to stave it off. You watch as he's grabbed your neck. You've managed to wrench yourself free, but some of your scales have been turned to gold in almost the shape of a perfect handprint.
Ooh. Okay.
He is going to do it again with his legendary action.
Are we still initiative?
Yes, it's his turn.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll stay on it.
So, gonna
Can't let
do
you actually
1. That's a failure.
That
Fuck.
is a failure.
And we're gonna do 2. That's not.
Ooh, that is not. All right.
Oh.
So as he's grabbed your neck, you've pulled it off. He's then reached down and grabbed your arm, and you can see your arm is starting to turn to gold. But again, you managed to pull off some of your scales at the same time as you rip off his hand. With his bonus action, he says, "Looks pretty. I think I'm going to add you to my collection personally. I won't even need to turn all of you into gold." All right.
Oh, I hate that.
Alistane, it is your turn.
So, we were told the specific way. We were given sort of like the esoteric version of how to destroy the Hand of Avarice. And it had something to do with somebody with a pure heart, like who was pure of heart.
Mhm.
And I don't have my notes in front of me because I am on the road.
Yep.
Does anybody else have that in their notes?
The,
Let me see if
There
I can
was-
find it.
There was never the IKEA instruction manual of
Yeah,
Defeat the Hand of
no,
Avarice,
but-
Right.
unfortunately.
No, but the long story short is this is a powerful corrupting tool that could only be disabled or disarmed by someone pure of heart.
I have an idea on
What
my
if-
turn. I don't think Fox is exactly pure of heart, but he's certainly closer now than he was. I've
I'll
got an
allow
idea.
you to do a tandem action with Alistane if you would.
Yeah.
Well,
Alistane
my idea-
looks to the captain.
My idea is that having just experienced extreme avarice and greed and then been freed of that, the captain is very aware that the opposite of avarice, the thing furthest from avarice, is generosity and selflessness. And so I wanted to petition the DM to allow me to, in the spirit of generosity and selflessness, split up everything that I can do on my turns and give them to my teammates, my crew, as the captain, and know how to lead. So I was going to petition that I give as Alice one of my level 5 spell slots so that he can level 5 smite someone.
Yeah.
And I can give Alistane an extra action, my action. And then I'll give Swift my bonus action because she's a rogue and she can hide, then attack, and then hide again. And then I can use my movement to selflessly put myself between one of them and danger, so that I can do everything on my turn to just like give all of my stuff away in the spirit of generosity and selflessness. That's my.
I love that so much.
I think that's pretty epic. So I can see you doing this. However, the spectral Drens are gonna beat the snot out of you in this turn. However,
Yeah. That's what I want. Yeah, like I've put myself in harm's way in an act of selflessness, because that is the opposite of avarice.
All right. Let's see how much damage they do.
Oh.
That is 36 damage.
All right, whoever hit me first gets 25 in cold in return.
All right.
Which gets through any sort of his.
That was the
resistance.
first one.
Yeah, so that guy gets 25 in cold, and then my Armor of Agathis has run out.
Yep. The second guy is going to do another 38.
I'm good. I'm still alive.
Hello.
And the last person.
Do I have a? I didn't activate it, did I?
Last person does 28.
And knocks me unconscious.
However, you are able to split up your actions before you fall unconscious, as basically 5 of these specters just come in and just start laying into you. They don't really have weapons per se, but when they're formed out of this watery gold, they're attacking you with what looks to be cutlasses.
I say the hand is pure greed incarnate. We must show nothing but selflessness. You told me, Alistair, was I going to keep dwelling on my misgivings, my life of ill intent, or was I going to do something about it? I told you I was going to do something about it, and I run over, fly right over to them, and just sacrifice myself to them to distract them for a moment.
Captain!
You watch as as these black feathers that fall from Captain Fork land near each of the crewmen. And as they do so, they bestow the gift that is described to each. Now, we're going to have a simultaneous action because I'm going to try and see where we go with this action. So, Swift, Azalis, and Alistair, you are acting in tandem simultaneously. What are you going to do? Let's start with Alistair.
Alistair is seeing Falk sacrifice himself and still in the rage of the sort of like the guardian of nature, is going to summon the storm within this place as water rises from the sea of gold and whatnot below us. It coalesces into a storm, and I'm going to call lightning twice down. Dren, focusing on the hand.
All right. So you watch as storm clouds begin to rise up. Azalis?
Azalis is going to grab the feather, hold it as he holds, bring his sword form up. Hearing the words of his master of the past, he's going to run in, focusing on that hit where the cold lightning hit the gauntlet. So I want to hit that stress point, that pinnacle, with a 5th level smite.
Nice.
Putting everything into that blow.
And Janet, what does Swift do?
Swift is going to attempt to distract Dren by using Compel Duel. So from wherever she is, she's going to yell, "Hey, don't you know that friendship is more valuable than gold? Come on."
Are you doing anything with this distraction? Because you are able to. Like, for example, if you want to try and steal the glove from him while he's being blasted into tiny bits.
If I can.
You have an extra bonus action this turn from me as well.
Well, here's the question. Is any element of your emotions pure? Like, pure doesn't have to be good, right? Pure evil is still pure. If you feel, for example, pure love towards, say, a particular fishman, that will also suffice. But the question is about Swift. Does Swift have any pure emotions?
I don't think that she feels pure love for Aeolus, but I think that she feels a pure friendship that she's never felt before. A friendship that is not clouded by lust or avarice, which are the two things that have always, or fear, which are the things that have always driven her. This is a friendship that goes beyond those things. It is a friendship that has had those things stripped away until it is only about the people that she cares about.
Nice.
So I would say platonic love, pure.
All right. So let's start with Azalis. Azalis, lightning strike. There is no saving throw for this person. You are going to blast him with everything you got.
That's Alistair, right?
Alistair. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Let me pull that up. So that is. We're gonna burn 2 level 5 spell slots.
Yeah.
on that.
Beauty.
Boom.
So that is a total of 10d10.
Yeah.
What we're gonna do is we're just gonna do this 3 times. Three.
All right.
Oh.
Jeez. All right.
Oh wait, ignore that last one.
Yeah. Okay. So that's 32.
Last one's gonna be a 2. So 22 plus 15 plus 17 plus 2.
Okay. Done.
69
Alright.
nice plus 2.
This huge lightning bolt crashes into this gold fist. It doesn't divert anywhere because he's got lots of gold on him, which is super conductive. Azalis.
All right, as Azalis is running up, he brings his forms to full height, and as he does, that feather heats his brow, and he remembers Fork and him meeting brows as affection. And as he does that, there's this pure feeling of acceptance and love, and that's where he summons that into the smite. His sword, that is of the old Fork, sings bright hot and radiant, and I'm gonna bring it directly down on near the gauntlet. Or on the gauntlet.
You got this.
Okay, cool.
You got this.
The +3. Okay, cool.
Pure grief.
Okay. This one. I'm gonna use luck on that.
I was gonna say I can't miss. You can't afford to miss on
Right.
something.
You
Yeah,
have
no,
luck,
I
you
do-
do have
I do have-
inspiration, and you do have a hero point.
Yeah, I
Okay,
do
we're
have luck.
good.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
Use them all. See if you can nat 20 it. Because if you can
Yeah.
nat 20 it, you can pump in a level 5 smite.
It's a 12. Yeah, I'll use my last luck. Might as well. Okay.
See if you can
Natural
nat 20.
20. Ah, it's
Ooh,
better.
we're getting close.
Do you wanna
You
use
say you
your-
had
so you got-
inspiration
I have a
and
hero point as well.
hero
And a hero
point.
point. Yeah. So use your inspiration first.
I'll have inspiration as well. So
do?
yeah, I'll use
Yep, yep.
inspiration now.
That one came from
Let's see
Ajo.
if we can get a 20. We got a 3, a 12, an 18. Here we
Okay.
go. What are the chances of a 20 out of 5 rolls?
And then we have a hero point as well.
Yeah. And it will go for
Three,
the,
it's well.
it'll go for the highest as well, just so you know.
A 3, a 12, an 18, a 7, and a nat 20. Here
Let's
it
do
comes.
it.
Oh, so close.
You know what? I'm just gonna, for the sake of it,
Can
I'm
I
gonna
give
use
my
for the-
nat 20 to Azalis?
You could. It
know
was
what?
glorious.
I'll allow it.
Alistan has a nat 20 token.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
allow it. It's the last game. Let's do it. All right.
It's the last game.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
boy.
All right.
Okay, cool.
Critical hit. Let's roll
Critical
the
hit.
damage.
Let's do it.
Pump in a level 5 smite.
Okay, cool. So level 5 smite brings it to 5d8. I have improved as well, which is another d8, which is 6, and I have it's
7
an undead,
because
which is
he's
7.
undead. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll roll these.
7d8, and then we go plus 56.
Another 3d8.
Oh wait,
Oh,
what
that
is
didn't
this?
work.
Oh, that's the damage
drop-
from the
yeah, drop it in chat.
sword and stuff.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, that's 56 plus its brutals, correct?
Yeah.
So it's instant
56 plus
12,
another.
7 times 8.
Sometimes it's 56. So,
So
56 times
56
plus 56 is
So
112.
50, no, 68.
112 plus another. Wait, what?
So it's because it's full damage dice and smite dice.
Yeah.
So,
So you had 78 smite dice.
Yep. Yep.
You
78
rolled.
smite
You rolled
dice.
all that you rolled was 56 plus the
Yeah.
56 from all the smite plus another
Yep.
12. So 112, 124 damage.
124 damage. Let's go.
That's rock.
All right. You kind of see this like scene from like Thor
124. Did you? Oh no, yeah.
Yeah, you see like this scene from Thor with the blade just sort of channeling lightning from the storm that magnetizes the blade and magnetizes him, so the blade just finds that strong purchase in the side of his body.
Yes.
I mean, it's not 1,000 points of damage.
Not
but-
1,000 points of damage.
It's not a bloody contest. All right. All right. Swift. You watch as the as very distracted, sizzling his golden beard, his golden sword. They're all burning hot with Azalis standing over it. He reaches up again and grabs Azalis by the shirt. I need a Constitution saving throw from you.
Constitution, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So this is going to be a +5 on top of this. 5. Okay, and con?
Yeah, con save.
That's a 13.
All right, your body starts turning to gold, and you failed by 5 or more. And
Is this magical, by the way?
No. This
Okay,
this is divine. This is
Divine.
basically god magic.
Brilliant. Okay.
So you instantly will turn to gold, but
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh,
But, Swift, as your name implies, you may use a sleight of hand to try and
I was
grab
thinking-
the glove before he gets this off.
Yeah, boy.
Heroic pose.
Has been gradually gaining height on her hand wings, courtesy of Binkley. And with a almost vertical dive down, she swoops down, her arms outstretched, ready to yank off the glove and plunge into the water.
All right.
Which goes roughly like
There's this large splash, huge wall of water.
pray for the bunny. Come on, fantasy grounds, don't let me down. Oh, that was so nearly a 20. That's a 19.
As you hit the water, you clutch in your hand what looks to be a golden glove. Azalis, you feel something wrench you forward and pull you into the water. Fork, you have fallen into the water as well. And Alistair, seeing everyone going into the depths, you know that they're likely to drown if you don't help them.
I'm heading right in afterwards. Yeah.
All right. Diving down, you watch as the gold clears. You watch as there is this tormented howl that comes from above. The sound as the figure transforms into liquid gold and almost like oil dissipating, disappears into what is now a pristine and blue water.
As Swift holds the glove, there's a moment where time feels like it slows. And she looks into it and realizes that it would just perfectly fit her paw. Like, she could definitely put this thing on if she wanted to. And then she glances around at the crew and she hurls it into the water.
Oh, well, you're still underwater at this point, but we'll
Okay, so she
through the
hurls it
water.
away through the water.
It's an amazing moment, and then it goes
yeah.
just like 4 feet from her, and she's like, that was more dramatic in my head.
Yeah, we'll come back to this. So, as you continue to sink into the water, as the water is blue, you find yourself washing up on the shore of a beach. This is the same beach as the Skull Island, the unnamed island between Dead Man's Fall and a bunch of other places. You could see in the distance, washed up and now beached, is the golden ship and members of your crew. So before you throw the gold glove into the waves, if you would like, someone who has a pure heart may attempt to restore your crew.
I look at the ship.
Yeah.
I look at Alistair.
Alistair just
I
walks up.
shove the glove towards Alistair.
Yeah. Alistair grabs the glove.
As you go to
Give our boy.
as you go to snap your fingers,
Ha.
you watch as the ship turns back into the glorious mimic ship. The macaw seeming confused, going, yeah, we did it, we won, and they start to cheer and they throw hats. You don't know where they got so many hats, but they have
You
hats.
get all of that.
We never gave them those.
The rudder is wagging.
The rudder's working,
The rudder's wagging. Yeah.
which is doing havoc to the steering of the ship.
Yeah, the ship is just
Azalis, you breathe kind of deeply and sigh with a sense of satisfaction, as you can see, like, your new very, very impressive sword has drawn strong blood from the creature. It now has veins of gold that run through its entire length. It is now known as the Gold Slayer.
Yes.
Yes.
Ah!
Swift, you are rushed by Prince Aeonus, who grabs you by the hips and lifts you high into the air, cheering and hugging you as you celebrate the victory. Alistane, you have the glove, and as you hold onto it, you kind of still feel the weight of it. Even though your heart is clear and cleansed, you still feel as though wearing it there's something inherently just wrong about this glove, and you take it. I imagine you don't want to keep it on.
Well, I was gonna say, can I use the glove to destroy the glove?
No.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I'll take it off.
No.
It's like,
Captain Falk, you feel as though that pressing desire, the search for the ultimate treasure, now coming to a close. I feel like I'm gonna say something lame, like, you know, it's the friends you make along the way, but honestly, you have a giant mimic ship. You've got a crew half filled with monsters with unique supernatural powers, and let's be frank, you've now got perhaps one of the greatest artifacts known to Olestria. Before this was known as the Gold Fist Gauntlet. It was in fact the Hand of Avarice. One of 7 incredibly powerful god-divined artifacts used to originally combat the titans that prevented the world from flourishing. These were given to mortals in order to protect themselves from gods. But over time, their true purposes were corrupted, these weapons and items.
I turn to my crew then. Well, Swift, you said you look like you wanted to say something first.
Yeah, I think I see you all alone and still looking very pensive. And I tap Aeolus on the shoulder so that he puts me down.
He does.
And I will walk over to you and say, come on, it's over now.
On the contrary, Swift. I say we've got 1. And it sounds like there's 6 to go.
Well, I can't think of a better team.
Weigh anchor! We've got work to do!
Yeah.
I walk
Get
back to the helm of the ship.
Aye,
and
Captain.
We'll set off in search of the other 6.
You all gather aboard. The macaw pull in the anchor, and you watch as the mimic ship, which is still beached, grows 4 legs, like almost like rhino legs, and then just backs up into the water.
Nice.
Who's a good boy?
As the ship then turns and sails into the distance, Captain Falk, you have heard of a place, quite a distant place, far away, known as Robinswood. Where you know of a hero, or at least a family of heroes that might know more. A family known as Valiants, who are said to be the holders of the knowledge of the ancient lores of these items, these deadly artifacts. That is probably the best place to head first, which means you're sailing to Atalan Bay, home of heroes, and of course the place of the Cinderfang Academy, the Academy of Heroes, who don't take kindly to wayward pirates stealing cursed artifacts. An adventure definitely lies ahead of our crew. But as we say goodbye and farewell to this crew, in the distance, we pan away from our heroes and find a single lone macaw. This macaw has a bucket on its head. And it seems to be riding what looks to be a small dinghy. As it sort of sails, it seems to be tired and looks around and sees a barrel floating in the middle of nowhere. It begins to sail outwards over to the barrel and picks it up and hoists it onto the dinghy. Thinking it's some ale, he cracks it open. And inside sees another macaw. This one with a mouthful of gummy bears. It jumps out of the barrel and hugs the other macaw. They start to hold hands and jump on the spot. As they do so, while rocking the ship, they knock over the barrel. The barrel that falls down seems to have what looks to be cut up pieces of a statue made of pure gold. It looks to resemble a one-eyed pirate.
Oh.
And with that, we end today's session. And of course, the end of season 1 of Sirens and Silver. Will there be a season 2? There is no plans for season 2 at the moment, and I'm not going to lie to you guys and say, oh, it's just around the corner. But keeping in mind, we all have fun. Whether or not we see these characters again, we will, of course, see these people again because they are all amazing performers, and whether or not they're in the space on their own channels doing their own things, or if we all come together to do something else amazing later on down the track, it is definitely not the last time you will see such an incredible performance. Thank you to all of my players. Thank you to you guys in the audience. Thank you to our sponsors, Hero Forge, Fantasy Grounds, and Sirenscape for making us look as cool as we did. Guys, let's do our sign out for the last time, starting with none other than this guy. Look at him. Look at his face. That Robert guy.
This face. Hello. I am Robert Hartley, GM. I am a full-time TTRPG player and dungeon master. You might know me from Viva la Dirt League, but you also might know me from my own stuff on YouTube and Twitch, or the creator of D&D Logic skit series. I do lots of D&D stuff full-time, always, everything D&D, always, every D&D, all of the time, all of the D&D. So if you like D&D, you'll like what I'm putting out, because it's all related. I'm found everywhere at Robert Hartley GM. You can just find me there. I'm very happy with the story. Thank you very much, Dag. Appreciate it. It was awesome.
Thank you for joining us on this epic journey. Falk has been an amazing character. Villain turned hero. It was awesome. It was great to watch. A definitely unforgettable experience.
Hey.
Very good.
Next up, of course, Patrick, dear friend.
Look at my face. Hi, everybody. My name is Patrick Keefe. You can find me everywhere at That Great Gentleman on the internet. I make loads of D&D and D&D related content, also TTRPG stuff in the wider TTRPG sphere. I am going to be playing a live game at Gen Con. If you're going to be there, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be Friday at 8 p.m. with a bunch of other TikTokers and online content creators. And yeah, that's I love Alistane. I love this crew. I am going to miss them dearly for the time that we are away, however long that may be. Maybe forever, maybe not. This story was awesome, and I loved every single second of it. I love you guys.
Yeah.
I love you too.
Janet.
That's me. Hi. I'm Janet. I run World Anvil. I made it. We help people world build, run campaigns, create awesome things. And I also write RPGs and novels. That is a thing that I do. If you would like to catch up with the things that I do, you can find me at World Anvil pretty much everywhere, but particularly if you want to hear world building advice, GMing advice, writing advice, all that good stuff, you can find me over on the YouTubes at youtube.com/World Anvil, where I talk about those things and try to be helpful. It's what I do. And also, this was just an amazing game. Thank you guys so much. We had such weird characters. I had no idea how this was going to wrap up, but like
if you told me at episode 1 you guys were going to get married, I would have laughed.
I know, right? Oh my god, the feels. I have loved this campaign.
Especially after the mistaken understanding when Falk gave Swift a ring.
Yes, exactly.
And then he was all like, "No, I didn't mean to. It wasn't meant to." As a,
maybe we knew what we were doing all along.
Yeah, totally.
This whole time.
You just gotta claim it. You just gotta pretend like everything was intentional.
Yeah,
that's how I get by as a good DM. I'm like, yeah, definitely meant for that to happen.
Oh yeah, 100%. Next up, last but certainly not least, Dred playing as Alice.
Hi, I'm Josh Dred from Dreaded GM. If you want to know what I do, I love tabletop role-playing games. I love people and I love community. So much so that I've decided to make it my life's work, and I get to enjoy my time with beautiful storytellers like these. I'm sad to see this possibly ending. Hopefully there's enough clamoring for season 2, but that doesn't mean that we can't play more games and tell more stories together. So if you want to be a part of my journey or everyone else's journey here, please go and follow us in all the places. I will say right now as well, go tell stories, go play games, because you get magical situations like this where you get to remember this. I'm going to hold these memories very, very close to my heart for my whole gaming career. So I'm trying not to cry right now. So I want to thank everyone for playing with me and putting up with my shenanigans. And I also want to say thank you to the main storyteller, the big brain of it, Dag. This has been an incredible experience, and I'm so gosh darn lucky to be here with you guys. So yeah, go check out Dreaded GM stuff if you want, but definitely check out everyone else here. Because they are amazing. Okay.
Thank you, my dear friend. And for me, guys, my name is Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer. This is where I live, so you can come follow me here. Guys, this was an absolute pleasure. Next time, we get together. I'm sure it'll be an incredible session, no matter where, how, or why it's going to be. But do, of course, keep on the lookout. This has been a wonderful experience. I love pirate games. I love pirate adventures. And honestly, these are the people that I would always want to do stuff with. Of course, my two partners in crime, Rob and Dred, bring the best out of me as both a GM and a player. Janet and I, we have such a good rapport since Ghosts of Saltmarsh, and being on the high seas is just the most natural thing with Janet. In Pretend, I can't be on the ocean. For reasons, and of course,
banana daiquiris.
And of course, guys, the person who really made me fall in love with 7th Sea through their incredible podcast is none other than Patrick. This was my all-star pirate game, and I guarantee you, if I do another one, these are the first people getting a message from me. As for now, however, we are going to go say farewell. There are very few people doing D&D stuff at the moment, but we are going to go and raid Rowan from the VLDL crew because he is doing Dead by Daylight. I love Dead by Daylight. It's fun, and I can raid who I want because this is where we are. And so be sure to throw out all of the raid emotes, all the love hearts, all of the cool things. Until we meet again, guys, as always, from us to you, game hard.
Game hard.
Or die trying.
Let's go!